Well, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for joining us on TikTok here, and we're live on YouTube also. We had a break just now, so we had to get on back. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're going to be with you until 9 o'clock tonight. All right, 9 o'clock. I want to make a few comments on the PNP's protests in Crossroads this morning. So the People's National Party gathered in Crossroad, and once again the parliament had to be suspended once again because the opposition PNP protested in the parliament today, saying that they will be heard. Where was the government members today? Because, parliamentary attendance is important to governing. And I noticed that the government side is always empty. Where are the government ministers? They are all traveling, or they are out on government business. Anyway, the matter of the TCN continues to be very, very controversial. Then there is the matter of Dr. Wheatley. I see where the Integrity Commission said they will not charge Dr. Wheatley pending a judicial review. And there are allegations that the government is withholding Hurricane Melissa money. Those are the reasons why the PNP gathered in Crossroad this morning. Let me go in and say good evening to my producer, Caroline. She's in the United Kingdom. Good evening, Caroline.
Hi, neighbor. Good morning. How are you?
Well, I am here, and this is one of the evenings when I wished I had an evening off. I
see.
I almost text you to say I won't come on this evening, but that is my job, so I have to do it now.
Well, I'm glad you decided to come on, neighbor.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
What time is it now? You got the time already. By the way, Caroline, I had 2 bottles of water today. Is that enough?
No, neighbor.
You know that I have. I don't drink water, right?
Well, no, neighbor. You did say you would be improving in that area.
Yes, and I actually had 2 bottles of water today. A little more than 2 bottles, but I'm very impressed with myself. Do I look like I'm losing weight? Do I?
Neighbor, what is your weight, if you don't mind me asking?
How much do I weigh? Just about a 170.
170. That means you need to be drinking 85 ounces per day.
That's how many bottles of those $100 bottles? You know those bottles?
I think each bottle has 16 ounces, right?
So that's
do the
like
math. 85 divided by 16.
That's almost 10. Oh my God! So I am short of 8 bottles. Well, I have a little drink here. Now it's just lemonade.
Oh, with sugar, right?
Yeah, just a little bit of sugar with a dash of ginger and a little lime.
I see.
And it's just for my my saliva, so that as I talk, my mouth don't get too dry.
Well, coconut water would be better, neighbor.
Coconut, okay, but that's expensive. I can't afford it.
Oh, okay. Well, Astute did the math and he said it's almost 6 bottles.
6 bottles,
So
okay.
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
you're short 4 bottles.
Oh, wow. Well, I'll try to do a little better tomorrow because the time is so hot, Caroline. It's really hot in Jamaica. I must tell you the truth. How is the weather like there in the UK?
It's very chilly, extremely chilly.
Meaning you're cold now?
Well, not right now because I'm inside, but outside is pretty chilly. Like if I was to go outside, I would need to wear a jacket.
Looking forward to come home?
Sort of, kind of, neighbor. I think I think I should say yes because it's going to be a busy summer for me. So when I go home, I just have I think 10 days before I go to Jamaica. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
so yeah, I'm looking forward to being in Jamaica. As a matter of fact,
I must tell you that I thought that Jamaica would have settled down after the 2025 elections, and especially after Hurricane Melissa, that the country would have settled down and really the government would have gotten a chance to govern. It's quite disappointing that there seemed to be a destabilizing effect in Jamaica, or a group of people determined to destabilize the country. It doesn't feel good at all.
and why do you think they're doing it, neighbor?
I think that the threat of a fourth term is driving some people crazy. And here is where democracy becomes very interesting. I'm not a believer in the concept of democracy. And that's a theological principle. Because I don't think human beings are governable. I don't think you can govern people where there is a will. When the will is free, the being is at risk. He is almost a risk to himself. And I will tell you this, that left to ourselves, we destroy ourselves. Think about alcoholism. Think about sex. Think about drugs. Think about the things that people do to themselves. If there is no constraint on human beings, they are destructive. So I don't necessarily believe in what is called democracy. I believe largely lean to a theocratic system where autocracy, tempered, helps people more. I don't think democracy works, especially for persons who are not very educated. And I must tell you that what I saw at Crossroad today is a disgrace on the system of education that we have. But that's for a different argument. That's a big problem actually.
But neighbor, to be honest, when you think of it, the next election will be in 2030, right? There has to be more to it, neighbor, than just the threat or, the fear of a fourth term.
No.
Considering
it
the
is
time.
Yeah. Go ahead.
There has to be more, neighbor. There really has to be more because, they have time, but neighbor, you wanted to tell me that the PMP cannot support anything that's going on in the country out of love for the country? Don't you believe, neighbor, that if the PMP were more supportive of what's going on in the country, then perhaps they would gain more support?
Yeah, I think they would.
No, neighbor, it has to be more, and I think it's all about the money and nothing else.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
would.
think they care about anything else.
Yeah. Well, how are they going to get their hands on the money if they don't get power? So at the heart of it is, how do we get power? The threat of a fourth term is causing all of this. We are smack in the middle of an election campaign, whether the Labour Party wants to believe it or not. They are not going to be able to govern peacefully in this environment. And something is going to have to give, Caroline. I'm going to tell you the truth. Something is
Like
going to
what, neighbor?
Like what?
Like what?
Well, I think that the Labour Party is going to have to change their strategy. I think that there has to be a moment in Jamaica where we pause and reset the system. Look at what is happening in Parliament. The Speaker today had to be standing up. The opposition members were banging their decks for 10 minutes, saying, "We want to be heard." You ever hear students in a classroom? "We want to be heard. We want to be heard." And when the Speaker stands, it's a sign of authority that everyone has to be seated. So if the Speaker stands and you remain seated, then you are in breach. So the Speaker had to stand up. And Mrs. Holness today had to be standing to get the PNP members to stand up. That's chaos, Caroline. That's a parliament that has fallen out of order. And the PNP today led a protest in halfway in Crossroad against matters that they are agreeing at other times. This can't continue. How can the government govern in such an environment?
Well, I think what the PNP are doing, neighbor, is that they are proving themselves to be not a possible option at all.
Yeah. The alternative is poor.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Well, neighbor, you know what my take is on this. I already sent you my message. Just
and I shall not repeat it.
Please don't.
That's between the Politics Plus. Okay. Well, Caroline, take care of yourself and enjoy your little time off left, and hope all things go well for you. Bye-bye.
Of course. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Going to ask everyone to look at the top of the screen where they see that sign that says join. I'm going to ask you to tap on it and send a heart me's, repost the live, tap the screen, and keep the comment section very active for us, please. I beg. Thanks much. Have a great show, neighbor.
Thank you so much, producer.
Of course.
Jamaica has a problem with its system of education. The Prime Minister went into Montego Bay and he said this. I want you to follow me. I want you to follow. Just work with me, and let's see if we can unpack this tonight.
Mr. Mark Golding.
We get into the protest. All right, so we get into the protest, and I'm just trying to see if I can tie it all together for you. Prime Minister went into Montego Bay, said this.
Mark, how could I forget you? It was not always the case at these events that the leader of the opposition was invited to speak. But as this event evolved into more of a national event rather than a government-sponsored event, it became the protocol that the leader of the opposition, which is a constitutional position, quite a unique thing in constitutional innovations, to have the office of the leader of the opposition written into the Constitution. So, Mark, we can never forget you. And we're always happy to have you here as leader of the opposition. that's how we do it in Jamaica.
Well, my understanding is that that comment by the Prime Minister is not going down well, and that the People's National Party don't like it. They feel that Mr. Golding was humiliated by the most honorable Prime Minister in front of the diaspora. Fascinating stuff. Now, Dion Jackson Miller.
I have an issue with something the Prime Minister said at the announcement. I'm Dion.
Listen carefully now. This is the Prime Minister.
So now it's no law, but I have an issue with something the Prime Minister said at the announcement. I'm Dion Jackson Miller. Thank you so much for joining me. Time for
Dion Jackson is going to have tea. You see that protest by the PNP today is the start of something big. And I want to show it to you. I want to show it to you. The Prime Minister, listen to Mrs. Miller.
all of that with this comment about fear and ignorance is honestly deeply disrespectful. But he had more to say.
Prime Minister, let's okay. Hold on. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back up. Listen.
People and opposition, politicians and haters who had issues with the Naira bill. There were so many people, so many groups that were pointing out shortcomings in this piece of legislation. And I'm not talking about people.
Just remember that the protest today was dubbed civil society. Let me tell you something. There are no civil society groups in Jamaica. None. There are no civil society groups in Jamaica. Go with that. There are no civil society groups in Jamaica. This protest is a PNP protest. It is 89 Old Hope Road that put on this protest today. Don't bother with the foolishness. Don't try to draw the wool over people's eyes. Listen carefully to Mrs. Dion Jackson.
People who could be described as coming from a position of, what was it? Ignorance and fear. You had a coalition of 28 civil society groups and
28 civil society groups. A coalition, and they all gathered at Crossroad today in yellow shirts. All 28 of them gathered down at Crossroad today.
Asking everyone to repost the live, tap the screen,
but you know,
and send the heartbeats, please.
The PNP was gathered in Crossroad, and the Jamaica Labour Party was in halfway. The PNP was in Crossroads. The Labour Party was in halfway tree. Now, I didn't want to get all into the politics, just yet. I was kind of saving a few things up my sleeve. But, if they turn it up, we're going to have to probably get in the game, Yeah, because I'm going to go to halfway tree. I'm going to go to halfway tree for the JLP mass rally. I'm going to go there soon. Since they were in Crossroad, well, gonna go to halfway tree. Okay? Uno can pull crowd. Foolishness. Let's keep with the flow of the program though. Dion Jackson. Let's go back to her. Listen to her as I'm trying to tell you about the protest today. Listen to Mrs. Miller.
Well, I mean, he's warm. He comes across as friendly and yet authoritative, you know. Whenever there's a difficult situation, he just steps in, and the way in which he communicates and says what it is the government is doing really, really helps, I think, to instill confidence in people that the country is in good hands and that we know what we're doing. He has a lovely, lovely tone. So, yeah, the way in which he says things, always great. The issue I have here is what he said on this occasion. Look, man, I never just one and two people and opposition, politician and haters who had issues with the Naira bill. There were so many people, so many groups that were pointing out shortcomings in this piece of legislation. And I'm not talking about people who could be described as coming from a position of, what was it, ignorance and fear. You had a coalition of 28 civil society groups.
Stop it there. A coalition of 28 civil society groups gathered in Crossroad. Gathered in Crossroad. They're not political. The civil society groups gathered in Crossroad are not political. By the way, I heard it was not a political rally. It was non-partisan. Let me ask my listeners. That protest in Crossroad today, that looked like something non-political? That protest down at Crossroad today, did that protest look like Miss K. Osborne? You should be ashamed of yourself. And you, Miss Osborne, a former general manager at TVJ, you're losing your mind. Miss K. Osborne was down there telling the people time come. What a hypocrite you are. What a hypocrite you are, K. Osborne. You big hypocrite. You were down there telling the people time come, but you were on TV talking about it's non-political. Where is the time come mantra coming from? 28 civil society groups. There are no civil society groups in Jamaica. As of today, whenever you hear a civil society group put out a statement, you know it's coming from the PNP. Civil PNP. They are. Civil PNP. No, not civil PNP. Uncivilized. Because they are not civil. There's nothing civil about them. There is nothing civil about UNO. Civil society is uncivilized comrades. Uncivilized comrades have Andre Stevens up on stage with Bullhorn. In fierce favor Bullhorn. You know, look like a he take down some clothes off of one line. Throw them on. But him a talking a Bullhorn. Andre a madman. Anyway, listen to Mrs. Dion Jackson.
Individuals, they had issued a statement of concern. I'd done a video on civil society saying you're not talking to us about this Naira bill. I'll link that bill.
Civil what? Uncivilized comrades. All of the civil society groups, don't call them no civil society. They are uncivilized comrades. Singing for them supper and them piece of bread. You know, sing for no supper and no piece of stale bread. But I got news for you.
asking everyone to tap the screen, share the live, send the heart news, and keep the comment section
I got
please.
news for Uno. Uno mash up Jamaica in the 90s. That's why the minimum wage is where it is today. I dealt with that last night. I want to walk back on our hands for the NIR and the Naira money. And the Naira money. This struggle is for the Naira money and that they want to go spend. Is the Naira money a bonuno? I want to down there and throw wool over the people of Jamaica and yay. All set up hypocrite. But no civil society. Miss K husband. If God was like man, all you. That's why I don't believe in democracy, you know. I don't know why the police allow it. In the hot sun, when Jamaican people should have their work. If you lock down protesting in this country, no protest. Groups can gather, no protest. Anyway, listen to Miss Jackson.
One at the end as well, so I'm not going to rehash what they said, but some of the groups that signed on to that particular statement: Advocates Network, Stand Up for Jamaica, Jamaica Accountability Meter Portal, Jamaicans for Justice, Jamaica Environment Trust, Jamaica.
Let me tell you something. You talk about me comfortable in a suit. I don't beg jackets. And no, nobody know. You don't tell me about my suits. I can't wear a suit if I want to wear. I don't. Just leave me alone. Listen to me. Don't go there. Don't go there. Okay? I wear my suits if I want to wear them. You don't see suit yet. I have some new one coming. You don't know that. I have some new ones soon put on. Shock you. Why you not go talk to Andre Stevens? He no wear suit. Andre Stevens no wear suit. Eh? You know, see for him suit them ever put on. Mark Goldie no wear suit. You went to Dayton Campbell's wedding, you see for him suit. Am I a little old? Anyway, no civil society groups are in Jamaica. They are uncivilized comrades. And their draws were showing today. All of their orange draws drop off down the crossroad, and then draws not even smell good. Smell bad. The stench coming out of crossroad today was putrid. Putrid, you could stay in halfway tree and smell it. Stink. All of the orange draws drop off down the crossroad today. I was all the way on my way down to up in Sligoville, and I smelled it. Pungent stink coming out of crossroad today. Frowsy. The plot is being revealed, and it is thickening, but slowly it is being revealed. You are all a set of disgrace. You are not patriotic. You are unpatriotic. And the Jamaican people should reject you. Because you all never went to Crossroad today representing Jamaica, you know. You never went there representing Jamaica. No. You all went there representing the interests of the People's National Party. You are a set of disgrace. You are a set of disgrace. All of you down here. Disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourself.
National Integrity Action, Jamaica Beach Birthright Movement. Some of the other groups outside of the 28 that express concern: church groups, the Jamaica Council of Churches, the Jamaica Umbrella Groups of Churches, the Watchman Church Leaders Alliance, engineers, the Incorporated Master Builders Association. Other groups that people don't really hear as much about, or you don't really hear them talk a lot. The Yamawe Council of Indigenous Leaders, they were concerned, for instance, about the impact of Naira on land rights. Just to give you an example. So
listen to this. Don't move. Listen to this.
Talking professional groups, civil society groups, advocacy groups, community groups, church groups, people who are skilled and experienced in areas like governance, in development, in construction. All of them saying there are issues with this bill. Well, it's now the law. The point I'm making is that the concerns about the NARA bill were coming from a whole heap of people from different groups, different occupations, different skill sets. So for the Prime Minister to sound as if he's dismissing all of that with this comment about fear and ignorance is...
I'm going to make the point. They were not gathered about NARA. They were not gathered about TCN. That's rubbish. They were not gathered about what is it? NARA money. Missing NARA money. They were not gathered there for Dr. Wheatley. That's not why they were gathered. They were gathered for NARA money. That is it. Because the Prime Minister made this comment. Listen carefully.
Honestly, deeply disrespectful. But he had more to say.
But it's clear to me that there are a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see speed. They believe that if it didn't take long, it wasn't well done. And we need to change that culture. But there are also a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see NARA succeed. It's not in their political interest. But
you heard that? There are a set of Jamaicans that don't want to see NARA succeed. It is not in their political interest. That's what brought them to Crossroads. That is what Crossroad was about today. They don't want NARA to succeed. These civil, uncivilized comrades, calling themselves civil society, they don't have Jamaica's interests at heart because they know that a successful NARA kills their political aspirations and their dreams and gives the Labour Party a good prospect for a fourth term. That is what Crossroad was about today. It don't have nothing to do with Wheatley. Nothing. Don't make them fool. It don't have nothing to do with TCN. It don't have nothing to do with nothing else. All it had to do with is the delay. The delay of progress of Jamaica. That is why they gathered. Organized by the PNP, funded by the PNP, and attended by the PNP. Civil society has sold their soul to the PNP. What a shame. Some of you pastors, I don't know what to go tell God. Say. Some of you business leaders, who is a set of letdown. All you are interested in is to continue the transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. And the sad thing about this, is that the poor people cannot see through it. Listen to the Prime Minister a little bit more.
It wasn't well done. And we need to change that culture. But there are also a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see NARA succeed. It's not in their political interest.
Who are those set of Jamaicans? Who are those set of Jamaicans that don't want NARA to succeed? It is not in their political interest. I know you and I know me. And it is not the people gathered in Crossroad today, the Jamaicans who thought that they were gathered for other things That's not them. It was the people with the microphones. Those are the people the Prime Minister is talking about. Listen to him.
To succeed, and we must call them out.
Call them out.
They hide under all kinds of names.
We must call them out. And you must join with the Prime Minister and call them out. Them are hide under all type of name. Some of them are grown that talk about say them are bishop. Some are say them are apostle. Some are say them are deacon. Some are president of this, president of that. Call them out. Call them out. Them are hypocrite. Bad mind, them bad mind. Them unpatriotic. Some of them are thief. Liar. Call them out. And because we don't want, and because they don't want you call out the hypocrite them. And then gather down a crossroad today. Call them out. Call them out, Prime Minister. Call them out.
And we must call them out.
Call them out.
They hide under all kinds of names, claim to be parts of civil society when they're not. You
hear that? The Prime Minister called them out and then vex. And vex, then vex. And then put out Dean Jackson Miller. Piss out the Prime Minister out of order. Because the Prime Minister dare laugh at a Golden and Montego Bay and call out the hypocrite them.
Political activists, and we must call them by the name. And I stand here frankly and say that.
This is a really bad comment from the PM. Honestly, it's terrible. Because it makes it...
A bad comment from the PM is terrible. That's what they tell her if you say. Bad. It's terrible to call them out. Well, I'm going to call them out tonight. No come for me. I am not the Prime Minister, but I am telling you that the Prime Minister now talk no lie. Mr. Golden said when the journalist asked him what is he going to up the ante, that he was going to speak with the civil society groups, those who, he had communication with. He was going to speak with them to join him to put pressure on the government.
People are getting here is that, boy, if you don't fall in line with government, if you don't do what they want to do, if you don't say what they want to say, somehow you're going to be branded as a political activist. Come on. These are not the kind of statements that support democratic deliberation and debate. These are not the kind of statements that celebrate participatory democracy. Because if people feel that if you talk out and you criticize and you oppose, and yeah, I'm going to use the word oppose because it's not a bad word. If you don't like something, there's nothing wrong with opposing it. If you think something is bad for the country, there's no problem with opposing it. But if you think that if you come out and speak, you'll be branded as a troublemaker, political activist, as somebody who is, as I said, not a patriot, it discourages democratic discussion.
It's very difficult to have culture change in a country like Jamaica because you have to, first of all, pass the political barrier. I mean, even when something makes sense, even when it's logical, it gets trapped into the political quagmire. Now, in a sense, that's what makes our democracy strong, but it is also what makes us slow. And so if we're going to have culture change, we need to have a change in our politics. There has to be things that are taken out of the political domain and we agree. And look, Trinidad has oil and natural gas. They have a natural resource. Guyana and Suriname, they have gas and they have a natural resource. Jamaica's bauxite, it's almost 50 years in, that is depleting. What is the resource that we have that is going to generate growth, that is going to fix the road, the hospital, the school? Because somehow in the minds of the people, all of these things can be fixed without paying attention to what we produce. And until we get people to understand that efficiency is a resource, in the same way that oil is a resource. And it is so telling that countries that have oil, if you look at Dubai and the Emirates and Saudi Arabia and all of them, what do you think they're trying to do? Get more oil? No, what they're trying to do is get more efficient. They're trying to build infrastructure and develop systems to attract people to come and live in their country, make their society more efficient, because that is the biggest asset. And what are the things that help efficiency? Technology. That's number one.
Yes.
But number two, it is a culture of getting things done. And that is what we don't have in Jamaica. We argue and quibble about everything. If you look at the debates that have taken place, not one of them spoke about getting things done quickly. Not one. And until there is a pivot and a shift, and the people who are the blockers and who feel that they're only important if they obstruct, until you take them out of the equation and bring up people who say, let me get this thing done right away, and we will get it done efficiently, we will build quickly and we will build well. Until we get that change, then we will be stuck in the mode of the 70s, 80s, 90s, the 2000s, where we are only getting 1%, 2%, or no growth. Growth also requires a mindset shift.
Now, first of all, the suggestion here again, if you don't fall in line with what the government wants, you're going to be seen as opposing something for political reasons, being a blocker of progress, say you're not mean Jamaican or good, say you're not patriot. Again, I'm going to say this is unfortunate. The PM needs to think very carefully about this road he's going down, and he needs to just turn around and come back. Democracy doesn't mean just saying you support democracy, right? The messages you're sending, whether outright or implied, are also an important part of that. And the message here is not good. You can't sound like you have a problem with criticism. And it no matter how many times you say, I don't have a problem with criticism, if everything else you're saying suggests the opposite, then that's a problem. And by the way, they keep talking about the speed thing, about how...
Okay, the Prime Minister there was pointing out the challenge not only of technocracy and bureaucracy, but of those obstructing the government. All right? And these civil society groups didn't like it. And so they got together and they turned up in Crossroad today. They turned up in Crossroad today. Moderator,
Yes, Neighbor.
I know our numbers are high, but we probably will have to restart TikTok, because I
No, Neighbor, just carry on.
well, yeah, it's crazy. All right, so the PNP though was in Crossroad, and the Jamaica Labour Party was in Halfway Tree. Listen to this.
My sisters are here with me, and I know that my father is watching somewhere in St. Elizabeth. And I have had the privilege of working with some of the best Jamaicans, some of the most caring, some of the smartest Jamaicans who have served Jamaica. My Jamaica Labour Party family and the cabinet that they have formed. I want to tell them thanks as well.
Family, I need that family. If I want it, me get a friend killer. You know me in a friend killer. Family.
And I want to.
You know why here not a crossroad. Halfway tree with it. Okay.
Thank you, my family. You are my family. The struggles that you have gone through or are going through, I have gone through them and I am going through them with you. It is not by mistake or by a courtesy that when I walk among the people, the elderly hold me and them say, "My son." People my age say, "My brother." And the young people them say, "Uncle." That is because they know they can identify with me as I identify with them. They know that I have never taken my eyes off the important things that affect them. They know that. And they know that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And if I change my mind and say I'm not going to do it, I'll come and tell you I'm not going to do it.
They were in crossroad. We are in halfway tree.
Everyone to repost.
Halfway tree!
And so the people have brought their dreams, their hopes, and aspirations to me and my government.
People are halfway tree.
Because they see that we have performed and that we can deliver.
You can't even draw one cross.
They see it. They see that some of the most intractable problems in the history of Jamaica, this government has taken them on and has transformed them. Take crime, for example.
Equal rights and justice is our everlasting song. Unity and progress will make our nation strong. Stand up for your rights when you hear the bell. Stand up for justice, hear the freedom bell. Remember us, the man said he served you well. Stand up, Jamaicans, when you hear the bell.
Shower down a halfway tree. Crossroad, you can't test this, eh?
Equal rights and justice is our everlasting song. Unity and progress will make our nation strong. Stand up for your rights when you hear the bell. Stand up for justice, hear the freedom bell. Remember us, the man said he served you
when I was a much younger boy, I was coming home from work with my mother. My mother used to work at the NIS office in Spanish Town. And I would walk home with her from Spanish Town to Ensom City. Those of you who know the distance, a few miles of walking. And we reach a point where some gunshots start to fire. This was coming up to the 1980 election. And I'll never forget it. Myself and my mother, we had to run and duck. You remember that moment? And it stuck in my mind that Jamaica should not be a place of violence. It shouldn't be. It should never be. Because we are such a peaceful people. We are such a loving people. We are known for our hospitality. But this kind of violence has crept into our culture. Today, I heard the sad news of a policeman and his family who note, and I just wanted to point out that.
All right. So that is the Prime Minister at the halfway tree rally. I just played a little bit of that for you because you see, it is all politics, you know. It is all politics that is happening here. Listen, for example, to this coming out of Crossroad. Listen.
I want to know why the second doctor and I bring teeth. I want to know
why we send home doctor and I bring on teeth. That's an uneducated woman. All right. Now listen to the little bit out of the protest out of Crossroad today.
The people who come say, time home. It is time to change the direction of the country. Time home.
Well, it's a little unclear, but that's Miss Osborne down at Crossroad shouting, time come. Time come to change the direction of the country. In other words, put in the PNP. That's what the protest was about. Time come. Huh? Mr. Shaw, what do you say? Mr. Shaw.
Because you know something? You know what I pick up on the ground. Let me tell you what I pick up on the ground.
What you pick up on the ground, Audley? What you pick up? Tell me.
Everybody tired of PNP.
Well?
Hold on, a serious business, you know.
Oh.
Everybody tired of PNP, even PNP tired of PNP.
That's why the lady resigned from the party yesterday. All PNP tired of PNP. Mr. Shaw, hello sir. Long time we don't hear you. What you have to say? Mr.
You
Shaw?
know something?
Yeah.
You know what I pick up on the ground? Let me tell you what I pick up on.
What did you pick up, Mr. Shaw?
On the ground. Everybody tired of PNP. Hold on, a serious business, you know. Everybody tired of PNP, even PNP tired of PNP.
Well, that's why them a walk out of the party. You know, a man said this some time ago. This is what he said. Hello, sir.
The following is a paid announcement.
Well, GJK didn't pay for this, but see to it.
Polls show the JLP ahead of the PNP. This has prompted renewed discussions about Portia Simpson-Miller's lack of competence and ability. The PNP's Peter Phillips.
About personality, but about the issues. It seems the PNP has gotten to that stage where it is not concerned with the issues, because the PNP has become...
It seems that the PNP has gotten to the stage where they don't concern about the issues. Listen to the man. Go ahead, sir.
Listen.
It's not about personality, but about the issues. It seems the PNP has gotten to that stage where it is not concerned with the issues, because the PNP has become a kind of know-nothing, anti-people, anti-progressive party. And that tied to personality and cultism. I will never become a member of the Labour Party, but I'm certain of one thing: the Labour Party will be in power for a long, long time. You have a good night.
Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That is one of the PNP's own party member. That the PNP has become, they don't care about the issues. It's all about themselves. Yeah. And I think he had something very, very important there to say. But the Gleaner is reporting that hundreds of Jamaicans gathered in Crossroad today, and among the people gathered was the leader of the opposition, Mr. Mark Golding, Mr. The opposition spokesman on finance, Julian Robinson. The member.
So
here's
I'm here in Crossroads just to lend support to the demonstration that has been promoted by the civil society groups. That
he's there to lend support to civil society groups. That's what he's there to do, to lend support to civil society groups. Really, Mr. Golding? Huh? No, your party organized the protest. Huh?
things going on in the country, you know, the way in which the government has approached this third country national deportee situation, the government's lack of transparency and frankly dishonesty in describing how this came about and what it is for. And you know, we're aware that under US law this whole arrangement is being questioned. That's an unsettled issue, and we think it's very premature and inappropriate for Jamaica to be embarking on.
Well, there you go. The leader of the opposition was in Crossroad today, joining in the protest. Going to open the lines now. Moderator, let's see who we have there to talk with us. It's 3 minutes after 8 o'clock. We'll go with you until 9. Let's see who we have online there to talk. Good evening to you, sir. Hello.
Good night, neighbor. Once more again on your platform.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I guess you remember who am I?
Not so sure, but go ahead. We can pick it up.
Okay. Well, you know, neighbor, I'm listening to you and listening to these people. And you know, what I'm picking up from this, you know, Mark Golding thing. Mark Golding is a Judas.
He's a Judas, sir? Hold on. He's a Judas?
Yes.
That is a very
Judas too.
That's a strong
Judas to the Jamaican people.
Oh, you think so?
Yes, because you know, Mark Golding, you can't take him as in word. He is a flip-flop person. This same Mark Golding where I heard on record say if I was him in government,
yes,
he would take the offer.
Yes.
The same Mark Golding say he would take the offer. And today him in Crossroad say a different thing.
Yes, that's a good point.
They are not, you know, I hope the Jamaican people take a note at these people and see that these people don't mean them well.
Yes.
Because you can't follow what a man will say, he will do this, and the next moment he say he will not do it.
He's a flip-flopper, sir?
You understand me? He's a flip-flopper. He's a Judas. He's a betrayer. And that is what he are trying to do with the Jamaican people who believe in him. You understand me?
Yes.
Yes, this is what Mark Golding are trying to do to the Jamaican people that believe in him. You understand me? So, you know, I said this morning, I don't know if it's this morning or whatsoever, I said these people, they are just like the devil from the pit of hell. Because remember, neighbor, if you are a religious person, remember that Satan went into the garden of, in the garden, and tell Eve, because he couldn't face Adam, he tell Eve that what God said to them is a lie. Because from the moment they do what they eat the fruit, because we learn about fruit, they will come as wise as God. So that is what the PNP are trying to play on the mind of the Jamaican people. You understand? For them believe that whatever they do, they are doing the right thing. But guess what? My old people also tell me, say, "Time drunk, but time no fool." I don't see what the PNP can come with to convince me. And I believe that sensible people are here in Jamaica. And we are going to hold these people accountable. We are going to hold these people for the words that they spoke. You understand me?
You really believe that, so that the people of Jamaica are sensible enough to see through all of this nonsense?
Well, neighbor, to our experience in Jamaica, it's not real. I would say, boy, no, but we are watching.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes people don't know what they want.
Yeah.
You understand me? As I said, you see, Judas never know what they want. Because of that, they sell out the good man for the bad, for the worse. You understand me? So Jamaica, you see, I said this morning on a live, I said, if you don't think for yourself, you go in a big problem. Because if you go have to make a man think for you, that means that all the while you go try to mislead by man, because you are not leading by your own mind.
Hold on there, sir. Listen to what Mr. Golden said about the TCN.
Ways, including after Hurricane.
Listen.
It is a fact that the US are a close ally of ours and have been very helpful to us in many ways, including after Hurricane Melissa. And if they have a serious problem and they're asking for our assistance, I wouldn't lightly ignore that or reject that. It is a fact.
That's what you're talking about, sir?
That is the same thing that I'm talking about, neighbor.
Golden said that?
Golden said that. And this morning,
play it again for me. Play it again.
That the US are a close ally of ours and have been very helpful to us in many ways, including after Hurricane Melissa. And if they have a serious problem and they're asking for our assistance, I wouldn't lightly ignore that or reject that.
That's not Mr. Golden, sir. Hello.
It seems like I shadow that attack.
That's not Mr. Golden, sir. That could not be Mr. Golden, sir. Mr. Golden, that was at Crossroad today. He said that, really? Can someone confirm to me that that's Mark Golden?
How can we trust a man like this?
Huh?
How can we trust a man like this with the country? How can we trust a man like this with the country?
Well, you say he's a flip-flop, sir.
Yes, he's a Judas.
Oh, my God.
He's a Judas. He's a betrayer. You understand? So, I don't know if Jamaican people would want to listen to this man and fall for this man, because, this man showing Jamaica that, he don't fit for a prime minister's job. You understand me?
But then Golden is a man of convenience. He's a man of convenience.
Convenience. You see, Golden are run by one other. Golden are run off of what people say and people say if do, Because somebody like that not sure say him run off of him right mind. Somebody not like that not sure say boy in the run with a good example from somebody sensitive or whatever. You understand? Him just a run behind some like a fool who don't know nothing good. You understand me? Because this moment you can't say you will do the thing, and the next moment you go in the public to talk about the government. I mean, never. May I tell you, it's as a songwriter say, it's a hard road to travel and a mighty long way to go.
Yes.
And you have a mighty long way to go. So all I just to do what he have to do. You understand me? Because we are going to judge him by his work. You understand me?
I think so too.
And by the things that he do.
I think so too.
Yeah. We are judge him by his work. Yeah, and by the thing that he do. So all you have to do, because I hear he was playing some tape from halfway through there, and he's saying as a man of his promise. So all we have to do, hold him as in word.
Yes,
you
sir.
Understand me? Just do him work. Because PNP are so desperate that they will do anything and anything to gain power. But as I said, I don't believe that we are so foolish to just put power in our desperate man who can decide what he want or whatever. Understand? We can't do that.
Well, so thank you, sir. I have to run you here.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself. Fantastic. All right. Who do we have next? User 692. Tell me what's on your mind. Hello? No. Horatio Nelson?
Neighbor.
Hi.
What's up?
Not bad at all. How are you doing?
I greet you well, sir.
I greet you well, yes.
Neighbor.
Uh-huh.
So this morning while watching the protest, right? I realized why we struggle so in the 90s, neighbor.
Yes.
And I realized why we make so much mistake, why we suffer so in the 90s. Because I never have a decision at that time.
Yes.
It was my grandparent and my mother and my father who did have the decision at that time. Because neighbor, look in the protest, neighbor. And I want you to do me a favor. Look inside of the protest. If you can recognize anybody in that protest that look like the age of 30, then I pay you tonight.
Oh, you're asking me to look at the crowd if there are young people there?
The crowd, neighbor. Just assess the crowd and the people in the crowd, neighbor.
Uh-huh.
If you find 30 person or that 20 person that look like the age of 30-year-old neighbor, I have to say a quote and I sell it to you
Well, hold on there because I need it. So let me check. I hope I can find them. Uh-huh. Well.
so neighbor, I said this to say neighbor.
Yes, sir.
These are the old dragons and lions that we face neighbor back in the 90s and early 2000s.
What you call them, sir? Hold on. What you call them? Dragons and lions? Hold on.
Dragons and lions, the whole one in neighbor.
Yes.
The whole lot in neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Neighbor, now you see why the health system in so many crises, neighbor. Because guess what? Menopause and heat no good in the neighbor.
That is what?
Menopause and heat no good in the neighbor. Because I can assure that 88 and 90% of everybody who that have.
What you mean the heat in Crossroad?
That coming. Yes, sir. The heat that coming, the sun that them set up in that neighbor. Menopause and heat don't go so well in the neighbor. When you ever know nobody going through menopause and when heat lick them how they react, neighbor.
Oh my God. No, I don't. I don't know, sir.
Neighbor,
Uh-huh.
I tell you, neighbor, I said this to say, neighbor. These are the people who made the bad decision at the poll in the 90s, neighbor. Why we did suffer so as a country, neighbor. The people who plan the protest, the people who turn up at the protest, all of these people, neighbor, are the people who go to the polling in the 90s and early 2000s, neighbor.
What are you saying to me?
Neighbor, I tell you, say neighbor. I don't feel check. When I see the protest this morning, neighbor, I feel proud. You know why I feel proud? Because the young people are busy going to work and want to make 2 ends meet and want to get.
I never saw that at all. So that the what you said, the menopause, the menopausal.
Neighbor, just look in the crowd, neighbor. 99% of who in the crowd going up. They have a menopause issue, right?
Oh my God. Uh-huh. Andropause, they call it for the men.
don't know where you call for the man.
Yes. Yeah, no, sir. Women have menopause. Men don't. What they go through? What the man go through? Andropause? I tell you. Oh God. You think Mr. Golden is going through that, sir? You think Mr. Golden is going through that?
Trust me, neighbor. Believe me.
Oh.
Trust me, neighbor. Neighbor, I can tell you this, neighbor. Most of the people who you see out there not even know what they are protest for, neighbor.
Yes.
Because even the lady that they claim put on the protest, neighbor, she was doing an interview with the Observer, and the interview person asked her why she out there, neighbor, and she explained that. Yes,
I saw that. As a matter of fact, the interviewer had to be correcting her. Had to be correcting her. Yes, I saw it. And she's out there talking. She's out there talking about time come.
Time come, neighbor. Can I tell you, neighbor?
What a shame! What a shame on that! What a shame on that lady, sir.
Neighbor, everybody.
Is this the lady that really was at TVJ, sir? Is that the general manager? Huh?
She's same one, neighbor. Neighbor, as last time I hear Scotty saying you have some people who not all of these organizations that them created, neighbor. The government have done so well, so they can't go to the international people anymore to beg any more money and to have more money fund to them. So that is the type of pressure them on the neighbor. So them everybody has sing for them so forget something, neighbor.
Yes, you're right, sir. Wow. But
neighbor, I don't want to hold up the show because they have a whole lot of people watching.
I tell you. Well,
so I'm running.
Go ahead. Thank you so much. Who do I have next, producer? Hello,
Mr. Neighbor.
Good evening to you. Hi. How are you doing?
The last time I spoke to you was on the campaign.
During the election?
During the election, absolutely.
Well, so why have you stayed away so long?
I just listen now, but I have to say something now.
Yes.
Because I've been getting phone calls as what on earth is going on in Jamaica. And since I am the known JLP that flew all the way home to run around all over Jamaica, they're asking me about what's going on. So I've been logging on to get some insight so I can know what to tell my callers.
You okay?
And my sister sent me a message this morning, Jamaica's in an uproar and they're turning over the government. What's going on? And I was like,
turning over which government, ma'am?
That's what I guess she was on this Andre fellow something, and they're gonna have a turn over the government of Jamaica. So I was like, this cannot be happening.
Let me tell you something, you see, ma'am. They don't see protests yet. Okay? Because we are not into obstructionism. We are not into tear down. But if they really want to see a protest, they will see one. The government of Jamaica, ma'am, remains strong and stable and is getting on with the business of governing the country with a 7-seat majority in the parliament, which is a large majority. And there are no elections due in Jamaica until 2030. And by all accounts, the Jamaica Labour Party will again win that one. So I don't know what that argument is coming from. Let me tell you something, ma'am.
I believe we're in good hands.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Democracy is not without its struggle. It's not without its struggle. And opposition voices have always been around. They are in even communist country and autocratic states. Jamaica is a democracy. The PNP can protest what they want. They have their support. But I can tell you, ma'am, that they don't have majority support on the island. They don't.
Wonderful.
They don't, ma'am. There are some issues, ma'am.
All the naysayers still talking.
Yeah.
Is that it?
There are some issues here, you see. There are 3 issues that were raised today. One concerns the third country nationals, which I'm going to deal with. The second has to do with Dr. Wheatley. Well,
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
the IC today said that no charges to be laid on Dr. Wheatley until a judicial review. That's what the IC said. And the third have to do with $1.4 billion that the government got as donation that the government said it used. And the government came out and told the people of Jamaica how it was spent. Okay? In addition to that, ma'am, the government has spent up nearly $70 billion of resources from its budget to help hurricane victims. You know, ma'am, this idea that Jamaicans are not getting help since the hurricane is a lie, you know. Hello?
Yes, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yes, ma'am. That is what it is. But can I tell you, ma'am, that this protest was really about Nara?
So they're still running the election?
The protest, ma'am. The protest you see there today. It have to do with Nara,
Yes.
you know. It's the Nara money them are protest over, you know.
That's just because they can't get any of it and they can't swindle it.
I think so, yes. I think it's the Nara.
And
They're afraid of Nara.
it's going to put them in a bad. It's going to put them in a bad view because the country is going to move forward.
They're
and
afraid
it's
of
gonna be a
Nara.
lot
They're afraid of Nara, ma'am. Nara give them problem.
development.
Nara give them problem.
Okay.
Okay then, ma'am. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
All right. Lovely. Take care. Who do we have next? I noticed we have Scratchy on. Producer.
Yes, neighbor, Scratchy's next.
Okay. Go ahead, Scratchy. Hello? Hello, Scratchy? No. Okay. Untold Stories?
Yes, what go on, neighbor?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Good night, everybody.
Where you calling from?
I'm St.
St. Elizabeth?
Yeah.
The Breadbasket Parish. Good night to you, sir. Welcome.
Yes. I wanna say I'm in the society and I'm listening to the news and I'm reading the newspaper and so forth. But the thing that I'm observing is that most of the negativity, that is what is being pushed heavily. And I realize that the government will give an answer. And the answer is not being pushed as how the negativity is being pushed.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. If you go to the bank with $5,000, a $5,000 note, and the teller says to you, Untold Stories, this $5,000 note is counterfeit. What would you do with it?
It wouldn't be of no use to me.
Correct. Now, why would you hold on to it then? And keep trying to use it? Why would you take it to the gas station and to the supermarket or try to pass it on to a higgler in the market? Why would you do that?
Only if I have dishonest tendencies.
Asking everyone.
That's part of the problem with the
life
society.
across the line.
It's sad for me to tell you that, but part of the problem with Jamaica is that its people are not honest. Our society lacks ethics, values, and morals. Our people are dishonest, sir.
And that's not nice at all.
And that is how they treat it. They know it's a lie. They know it's a lie, but they keep peddling it. You know why? You know why, sir?
No.
It benefits their tribe.
Oh. They're saying that even if the country does not advance once they are benefiting some way.
I could take you on a history lesson, you see, so societies that do well are less tribal. You see, tribes are not interested in the nation, you know. The tribes are clandestine. They are interested in their clan. Tribalism is antithetical to national development. And the People's National Party exposes themselves as a tribe.
Yeah.
Tribalism, son. Tribalism is why Rome, you see, Rome and Plato made that clear, you know, that the people that prefers their tribe makes the nation fall. Look at Jamaica today, sir. Look at Jamaica today. A country that suffered a category 5 hurricane. It hot down here so till. We not even know if we're going to get another category 5 this year. A country that is trying to lift itself up out of the dust has not recovered yet. Did you see what came out of the Bank of Jamaica today? On interest?
Yes, I think.
Yeah, on interest.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The productive sector is trying to build back itself up. And what the PNP choose to do? Go down to Crossroad to distract the nation. Huh?
Yes.
That is nation building, sir. Where in that you find patriotism? Where in that? Now, where is the evidence that the government is hoarding Melissa money? They can lock up some of them people if they lie. They can charge them for lie.
I just would like, you know, I think Jamaicans should read more and, you know, just read and think for yourselves. And because I'm also observed that social media is a very heavy pusher of misinformation.
I just told you, you know, sir, it's the man who is holding on to the counterfeit $5,000, although he heard that it was not good. Now, caution, Andre Stevens, all of these PNP bloggers, you think they don't know that they're not speaking the truth?
Says that they know and I do the wrong thing.
Mr. B, where are the pedophiles that are in Jamaica? Where are the criminals that are coming to Jamaica? Where are they? Can you show me one?
We can't pinpoint them. You'd have to check the records.
There is no, there is not one TCN on the island. None. Lambert Brown stood up in the parliament, sir, on Friday and said that Jamaican government was accepting pedophiles in Jamaica. Where is the evidence?
No, but the explanation that the government gave was that they have the records of the people and none of those.
So it is unverifiable, sir. And it now puts the burden for proof on the government. The government has to prove, say, no pedophile are there. When the people of St. Mary believe that already. It is the man, sir, with the $5,000 note that is going around trying to spend it, although he knows that it is flawed. It is a counterfeit. They know it, sir. They are dishonest. And you cannot put information into dishonest people's hands. It's not going to go nowhere. They are liars. And some of them are thieves. Because if you go to the bank with a $5,000 note and the teller says to you, this is counterfeit, dash away. Don't carry it around. No, but you say, no. I can't lose this $5,000. We're going to try pass it on to a higgler or carry go to the gas station at night time or bring it to somebody and exchange it, pay me taxi fare out of it at night time and try to thief. That is what the society is doing with the information, sir. It's not that the society don't have the information. They have it. And they have the correct information. But the correct information does not benefit them. It is more amenable to tell lies because telling lies benefits their party.
Their agenda.
And their agenda, sir. And they have an agenda to push. You know, somebody sent something to me about what the PNP said. I wonder if I could find it. Anyway, go ahead, sir. You have anything else to add?
There was a friend of mine. She was a public servant, and she always tell me that sometimes when I see the country not going forward or things not going as planned, she's saying sometimes that it's people who are in some offices, high offices in Jamaica, who does not want to work with the government. Like the government will have an agenda and they send like information to some ministries, and the ministry would bench the information. And she would explain to me and tell me how the government works, that when the financial year begins and the government wants to do a project, they would have to find contractors, and then if the other financial year catches the project and it is not finished, the whole system would have to be done again, where they would have to go and get contractors again and find funding. So she's saying that sometimes it's people that are in high offices that are stagnant in the process of government projects. She would also say that there was once a time in Jamaica when if you held a public office, you could not make known your political alliance. You know, it would not be tolerated.
Here is it, sir. Comrades, post whatever you want to post about the government and ensure you all flood social media with it. It does not have to be true in the moment. By the time the labor rights realize what is going on, it has already gone viral. And people will not believe them. We must do whatever it takes to win the next election, and we fix it after. Sounds familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes, I heard.
You ever hear a statement say we always believe that it is best for us to form the administration. Us. And therefore anything that will lead us or cause us to be in power, we believe is best for the country and in the best interest of the country. That anything you see, sir, is a loaded gun. Because anything means protest down a crossroad. That's what that protest was about, you know. That don't have nothing to nothing. Mr. Davis, tell the comrades and the executive say run with it. Run with it. Because it's better for us to be inside here solving the problem than to be outside wondering how Mr. Siaga solved it. Nothing new.
And last thing, you know, Miss K
husband,
a woman that I looked up to, and yeah.
You look up to her, sir?
You know, being the manager of TVJ. Yes, because she once managed TVJ.
Oh, so if you are a manager of TVJ, it means that we are to look up to you?
Yes, as for someone who you would say was successful to be managing.
Where?
A prominent television.
Where was the success?
TVJ wasn't successful.
I don't know that. Then why did she leave?
I would think that maybe she chose to.
I see. Go and look into that again. You know, sir, they once called that TV SSS. Is that so? Super Supreme. Oh my God. Anyway.
Well, you can shed some light into it.
No. You go and look back at it, sir. I don't know about that success.
Right.
Yes. Take care of yourself.
Yes, boss.
Okay. Where do I go now? Scratchy?
Good night, neighbor. Good night, sir.
Hello, man. How are you? How are you, Scratchy?
I'm here, neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm here, very warm.
Scratchy, what is the response? What is the response from the Jamaica Labour Party tonight to an obvious upping of the ante in the Jamaican political landscape? You are a man on the ground. What are the labor rights say?
I mean, neighbor, it was a dismal show, neighbor. That is not a protest, neighbor. You know, I don't think that there's any response that you're gonna expect to come from the government, neighbor. I think the response.
No. I'm asking about the party here. I'm asking about the party here, though.
Yeah, I don't think neighbor the party is perturbed, neighbor. The party is worried, neighbor, by today's protest, neighbor. Based on what the parties look at, neighbor, when the party see the number of persons out there, when the party see the type and the caliber of persons who are out there, neighbor. You know, persons who are missing limb, persons who are missing teeth, persons who are missing eye. You know, and so the party just look at those type of things, they might just know that this is just another antic from the civil society groups and the People's National Party, neighbor. I mean, they look at even where the PNP chose to keep this thing, neighbor. Not the PNP, where civil society groups or corrupt society groups chose to keep this, neighbor. Crossroads, neighbor. We all know Crossroads, neighbor. They couldn't go downtown, neighbor. Because downtown, the two constituencies downtown, Central Kingston, controlled by the Jamaica Labour Party, West Kingston, controlled by the Jamaica Labour Party, it will be difficult for them to get some form of support. When you look at even half a tree, you know, and then half a tree, neighbor, and then a space and it's set up in a way, some form of corporate to a certain level, very difficult. Most of the communities around, communities that support the Jamaica Labour Party. But when you look at Crossroad, neighbor, Crossroad is really the bedrock of the PNP. Polling constituency, neighbor.
Yes.
It's right down the road. Julian Robbins constituency is right across the road. I have the one from Almontown right down the road. So they strategically chose Crossroad, neighbor. So that persons could walk and it could be easy for persons to attend this nonsense. But again, I didn't feel attempt, neighbor, because I want to tell the civil society groups, neighbor, and the PNP that you keeping this meeting in this protest in Crossroads and a blunder. Jamaica is no longer at a crossroads, neighbor.
Oh, yes.
Jamaica is at a place now, neighbor, where we need to meet each other halfway.
Yes.
And maybe they will get a better response if they were in
halfway tree.
You know?
Hold on.
Yeah,
That's a classic, you know, strategy. Listen to Mr. Golden. I don't know if I should call him the leader of the opposition. Is he? I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to check that out. Hold on. Listen to Mr. Golden and tell me if Mr. Golden is not
a serious problem and they're asking for our assistance.
Hold on.
It is a fact that the US are a close ally of ours and have been very helpful to us in many ways, including after Hurricane Melissa. And if they have a serious problem and they're asking for our assistance, I wouldn't lightly ignore that or reject that. It is a fact that the US... It is a fact that the US...
Scratchy, did Mr. Golden go to the protest today? Is it? I'm hearing that he was at Crossroad. Did he?
Yes, neighbor. I saw clippings of him in that one yellow shirt, neighbor.
Good evening, Sticky.
I saw Sticky out in his one yellow shirt.
Yes. That was a classic. By the way, so let me ask you a question. How could Mr. Golden be saying this here and be in Crossroad saying what he said there today?
I mean, this is not new for Mr. Golden, neighbor. Mr. Golden is a flip-flop in the neighbor. Mr. Golden is the same Mr. Golden, neighbor, who's standing in the parliament, neighbor. And then there's an acknowledge Mrs. Honest, neighbor, being the Speaker of the House, come out 2 weeks or 2 months after, neighbor, and say it's a conflict of interest with Mrs. Honest being the Speaker. This is the same Mark Golden, neighbor, who had some form of corresponding to a letter with the Prime Minister, neighbor, and went and made that letter public, neighbor, to the media. And the persons to know what the Prime Minister was discussing, neighbor. So this is don't surprise me, neighbor, about Mark Golden, neighbor. This is the type of politics that we have been seeing by Mark Golden, neighbor. My biggest disappointment, neighbor, is not really a disappointment, but the orchestrator of the protest, neighbor, Chaos Burn. I mean, neighbor, if I was Chaos Burn grandson or son, neighbor, some relative, the current state that I see that lady, neighbor, she could never be out there, so neighbor. Neighbor, Chaos Burn has reached a state in her life, but this lady can be put in a field, neighbor. This lady can be put in a field in a cornfield. Neighbor, the lady looks so much like a scarecrow. I couldn't believe that it was this lady here at this stage, at this level of deterioration in her life. You come now and come oppose against government and a push up thing when your health should have be of utmost importance to you.
and go try to help your grandkids or something to become better citizens and stuff like that, you take it up on your head in your condition. I mean, never not please, neighbor. Chaos burn, feel big, miserable neighbor. And chaos burn neighbor need to look into herself, neighbor, and her family neighbor need to rein her in.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't have my grandmother out there in that state, neighbor, running up and down like that.
Yeah. She did say on the weekend though that it was a non-political protest. She lied.
She lied, neighbor. She lied. She definitely lied, neighbor. One thing I want you to also know, neighbor, that we have seen it in previous time. We have seen it during the PNP, during post-Simpson campaign. Despite orange being the color that we know of the PNP, neighbor, we have seen more than one thing where the PNP use the yellow color as well, neighbor. So when they tell persons to come out in yellow, neighbor, they know exactly what they were doing. Why there were so many persons are political representative on the People's National Party side out here then, if it was not political, why didn't you come out and say, this is something about Jamaica, and whatever issue Jamaica is facing, it is as a result of the parliament of the land, and we don't want no parliamentarians out here today. It's the common people of Jamaica who are doing this, and we don't want a politician to politicize this thing. No PNP no come. Why did they come up all their load there and say that?
Yes.
Close ally.
The other thing, Scratchy, is that the whole concept of civil society being independent is a farce. I think the Prime Minister is correct to say that they have political interest. Do you think that civil society in Jamaica has lost its moral compass and are no longer viable or credible?
Yeah, but I don't think they have any moral compass to begin with, neighbor. They weren't created, neighbor, to have any form of moral compass, neighbor. They were created as proxy groups, neighbor, to prop up the government of the day, which was the People's National Party. They were pushed the agenda of the government created as the People's National Party. So I don't think, neighbor, that they had any moral anything, neighbor. So after today, neighbor, I no longer see them as any civil society group, neighbor. I see them as a corruption group. Because as corruption group, because I can tell you, neighbor, that when I was watching, you need to mute.
Go ahead.
When I was watching that protest to the neighbor, based on what I saw, neighbor, the caliber of person, and I'm not talking down on my fellow Jamaicans. I'm not looking down on my fellow Jamaicans, neighbor. But what I saw to the neighbor, it definitely showed me, neighbor, that whatever message is being sent by civil society, whatever message is being sent by the PNP, neighbor, majority of Jamaicans are not buying into it. And not just majority, neither. Well-thinking Jamaicans are not buying into it, neighbor, because Mauricio said something earlier, neighbor, and it's right, it's true. If you look at the age group, neighbor, the persons who were out there, so neighbor, protesting against the government of the day, neighbor, it definitely shows you, neighbor, that current age group, neighbor, is the age group, neighbor, that caused the problem of the 80s, the 70s, the 60s, and the 90s, neighbor. And now, in the 2000s, neighbor, when they are more irrelevant more than ever, they are trying to make some form of comeback. It is sad, neighbor, that we have a large section of senior citizens in Jamaica, neighbor, who don't know right from wrong and who are failing to get in line, neighbor, with the upward movement of the neighbor. I would have more concern if I saw a whole lot of young persons, neighbor, out there protesting against the government, neighbor. I would have been more concerned. What I saw, neighbor, was some old PNP dinosaur, neighbor, and them don't scare me, and them don't worry me one bit, neighbor. All I see is a set of people who are going, a set of people who are coming.
Tell me something, Scratchy. Do you think that this is going to have any impact on governing in any way, or do you think it's full speed ahead as far as the government is concerned?
No impact, neighbor. None whatsoever, neighbor. No impact, neighbor. No negative impact, none whatsoever, neighbor. I think what this has done, neighbor, the orchestrator of the protest, neighbor, I think whatever, I think a lot of persons now, neighbor, might be more disappointed in her, neighbor. And I think a lot of persons who turn up there to the neighbor, they turn up because they might have gotten some form of stipend or incentive or something was promised to them. But in terms, neighbor, stopping the government progress, neighbor, the part that the government is on, I don't see it, neighbor. The protest to the neighbor didn't have any form of impact, neighbor. The protest to the neighbor, despite yes, it being carried by media groups and things, neighbor, there wasn't any form of substance from it, neighbor. It was a very, very low vibration moment, neighbor. It was something that didn't gain any form of attention. And it was just more hype, neighbor, rather than substance. When you look at someone like even Andre Stevens, neighbor. When you look at how he was conducting his interview.
Is he ill? Is he ill? He looks ill. I don't want to discuss one's illness because anyone can be. Oh my.
We have seen him where he is.
Why are they exploiting him so much? Why are they exploiting him like that?
And that is how the PNP do it in the neighbor.
Oh my.
The PNP tend to realize that persons have a space already from a popularity, but once you realize that persons come out and persons are not afraid to talk, they use them just like the one in the Liquor Fire neighbor. I know I saw him at the protest today, and I know neighbor that he must be some form of embarrassment. To know that he must so called for a protest of this magnitude, and he didn't get any form of strength, and someone else called it and someone there. I was like, Marvin, Liquor Fire neighbor, I would never show up to this protest neighbor. I would be so ashamed.
Yes.
To know that I called for something like this the other day, and it was flop, and you went out there again, and because Kiasburn, yes, she have some form of name out there in society, and she might can rally a few persons, and again, neighbor, the crossroad that they met was strategically done, neighbor. Mark Bowling constituency is right down the road. 40,000 empty barrel people live down the Mark Bowling constituency. It takes nothing for them to ride, walk over crossroad and come to the conference. Julian Robbins constituency is also in the crossroad area, neighbor. Neighbor, downtown Kingston is there, which has a large demographic group of people. If you want to protest, you want people to feel you go downtown.
Yes.
But they didn't go downtown, neighbor, because the two main constituencies, neighbor, that support downtown, or is from downtown, is West Kingston.
Are you saying to me that this was a PNP protest?
This was a PNP protest, neighbor.
Oh, what are you saying to me?
It was a PNP protest, neighbor. It wasn't a PNP protest, neighbor. This would have been a protest where you could have kept anywhere across the length and breadth of Jamaica. You strategically choose crossroad because you know Mark Bowling have 40,000 eyeglasses in a film constituency.
Yes.
You know that Julian Robbins have a next set of eyeglasses in a film constituency. That's why you directly chose that area. Crossroad, neighbor, in the last general election was the main place where the PNP keep their mass rally.
Yes.
And the Jamaica Labour Party held their mass rally in halfway tree. And the reason why the Labour Right rally was kept in halfway tree, neighbor, was because we were the Prime Minister, know that we were at a situation, at a level in our country, neighbor, where we just need to meet each other halfway. Don't go to crossroad again, neighbor, because we are no longer at the crossroad.
Oh Lord.
Jamaica is past that.
Philosophically, Jamaica is philosophically, you are saying, we have passed the crossroad and we now meet in halfway tree.
We pass the crossroad, neighbor. We start meeting each other halfway. And PNP still cannot read the political landscape and realize that Jamaica passed the crossroad. Jamaica is no longer the crossroad, neighbor. No longer, neighbor.
So hold on. So the PNP, they are at a crossroad.
They are definitely at a crossroad.
Oh, what are you saying to me?
That is where they feel their most political strength out of all of those three major townships in Jamaica. Downtown Kingston, Crossroad, Harper Tree. Crossroad is where the PNP feel their most strength. And I can tell you, out of downtown Kingston, Crossroad, and Harper Tree, I can tell the neighbor that Crossroad is the most dormant of the three of them, neighbor. Crossroad is underdeveloped. Crossroad don't turn over the type of funding that Harper Tree turn over. Harper Tree have a little corporate street, neighbor.
What you saying to me?
Kingston, neighbor, is the backbone of Jamaica in terms of commerce to a certain level. Crossroad, neighbor. Crossroad is nothing.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, in terms of the politics going forward, though, Scratchy, this seemed to be a bit of a upping of the politics on the ground. We cannot though successfully develop our country if we are distracted constantly every week. You see what happened in Parliament today. Don't you think that we are going to have to pull back and have a conversation about how we go forward?
Definitely, neighbor. Despite all the theatrics, neighbor, and despite the antics, and despite all we are taught, neighbor, there's some seriousness that needs to be taken out of this.
Yes.
And the seriousness that needs to be taken out of this, neighbor, is that there's definitely a group of Jamaicans, neighbor, who doesn't want to see Jamaica pass its worst, neighbor.
I want to play. Hold on for me. I want to play this Prime Minister for you. He making the same point. I'm coming right back. Hold on. Listen to him. Hold on. Let's see if I can.
They believe that it didn't take long. It wasn't well done. And with Jamaicans who don't want to see speed, they believe that it didn't take long. It wasn't well done. And we need to change that culture. But there are also a set of Jamaicans who don't want to see NARA succeed. It's not in their political interest for NARA to succeed, and we must call them out. They hide under all kinds of names, claim to be parts of civil society when they're not. They are political activists, and we must call them by the name. And I stand here frankly and say that.
That was a bold comment by the Prime Minister. Scratch. Do you think he should have gone there?
No, neighbor. I know a problem, neighbor, with what the Prime Minister said, neighbor.
Okay.
The Prime Minister is reaching a level, neighbor, where the Prime Minister understands, neighbor, that he's a Prime Minister. The Prime Minister understands, neighbor, that he owes some form of authority, neighbor. And when he speaks, neighbor, persons listen. So definitely, neighbor, the Prime Minister is letting persons know, neighbor, that don't think you're fooling me. Don't think I am here and I don't know what is going on. The Prime Minister is basically telling us, neighbor, that he have a firm understanding of what is going on out there in our society, neighbor. And that is what the Prime Minister did. Nothing wrong with what
But if the Prime Minister is saying to the people of Jamaica that the civil society groups are branding themselves as civil society group, but they really have political interest, then they are dishonest, Scratch.
Neighbor, they are dishonest. If you look at all of the civil society groups, neighbor, each and every single society groups, neighbor, if it is not the head, some part of it, neighbor, of their organization, someone who holds some high position in their organization, neighbor, was a member of the People's National Party, is connected to some member of the People's National Party, neighbor. There's no civil society groups, neighbor, in Jamaica. You can come to all of them that find people. The PNP, neighbor, have some form of connection in each and every single society group, neighbor. Whether someone was a member of the PNP who is now leading the civil society group, or there are someone who is in line with the PNP, neighbor. When you look at our good friend, neighbor, Chaos Bird, Scarecrow, because I was shocked, neighbor, and I'm not holding back my words, because the same way like how Chaos Bird see it fit to try to overthrow the government and try to make it look like the things not going good in Jamaica, neighbor, it's the same way I suppose I can call her out. And I'm saying that Chaos Bird, you have reached a level where you're declining, and I think it is in your best interest and in your best health if you leave Andrew Michael alone and the Jamaica Labour Party government alone and go focus on other things. I don't know, neighbor, if it's because of the shambles that is going on over there, neighbor, in the Cleaner Communication Group. I don't know if Chaos Bird pension is at risk, neighbor, of a former employee cannot pay over her pension or whatever is going on in that organization, neighbor. Why so many persons who were a part of that organization is so strong in coming out against the governing party, neighbor, that is currently the government of Jamaica. So there's a lot of things, neighbor, that is going on. And as I often said, neighbor, well-thinking Jamaicans, they're too silent. But the biggest protest, neighbor, and the biggest way how you can show your disgust, neighbor, to the PNP and to the JLP is by turning up to the polls. And Jamaicans have shown that, neighbor, over 3 consecutive elections, neighbor, that they are disgusted by the PNP, that they have no belief in the PNP by voting or not voting for them in 3 consecutive elections. And I think Chaos Bird and all of them, neighbor, need to understand that. I said, I will ask why before my land, neighbor, the Jamaica Labour Party being in power, neighbor, is a threat to a whole lot of persons.
Oh.
A lot of persons, neighbor, who support the PNP, neighbor, their pension is at risk, neighbor, with the Jamaica Labour Party in power, neighbor. Their ability, neighbor, to rule over NGO funds and stuff like that, neighbor, is at risk. So there's a lot of persons out there, neighbor, who their life are how they used to live, neighbor. This Jamaica Labour Party government has come and transform it and change the dynamics of the system, neighbor, and they are not pleased with it, neighbor. All of them we see out there, we talk against the government, neighbor, they are selfish persons
who don't serve Jamaica interest, neighbor, them serve their own personal interest. And because their own personal interest is not being met under this current Jamaica Labour Party government, neighbor, they have a problem with the government.
Okay. Hold on there for me, Scratchy. Let me see. I have two other we have three coming to you, Joshua. Mr. Dobney. Let's see if we can get back Mr. Dobney. No, he's been waiting for a little bit. A former candidate for the Jamaica Labour Party. I think he ran against Fitz Jackson over there in South St. Catherine twice and did reasonably well, but did not get across the line. Hello there, Mr. Dobney.
Hi, how are you doing, neighbor?
I am okay. How are you?
Wonderful.
I see you were in Crossroad today, sir. Why were you in Crossroad?
Crossroads. Let me tell you something. If you did not mention it, neighbor, I would not even be focusing on it at this moment.
I see.
Crossroad was for me a figment of the PNP's imagination, seeking.
No, but why do you say the PNP? Hold on, Mr. Dobney. Why do you say the PNP? It wasn't the PNP who put on the protest, was it?
Well, let me tell you something, neighbor. The devil cannot hide himself, you know.
And what are you saying to me?
He manifests himself in varied ways. And there are certain character traits of the PNP in the now that manifest itself today in Crossroads. The people of the PNP were there. And believe it or not, it is those persons who are misguided. They do not understand what it means to see truth and call truth. They are a set of liars. They are a set of people who are trying to deceive the Jamaican people, who are already aware that the character traits demonstrated today by the people that were at Crossroads reflect the irrelevance of a party. I don't even want to say the PNP, the irrelevance of a party, because currently I do believe that there's only one party in Jamaica, and that's the Jamaica Labour Party, the transformational party that is taking us to leaps and bounds in terms of transformation.
The PNP, hold on, sir. The PNP, they are irrelevant?
Neighbor, that is even a mild word to put it, to put or to attribute to them. The history of Jamaica proves that. Every time these people are in charge, the country takes a backward step. And Jamaica understand that. Our young people are coming to the awareness that while they have not been exposed to the stewardship of the PNP to some extent, but the influential Jamaica understands that we are seeing vast changes in almost all sectors of our society.
But I want to stay. Hold on. I want to stay with the protest for a little bit because I think it is important. This is a democracy, and a protest in a democracy ought to be something that is spoken about and covered. The protest was dubbed as a neutral protest. How did it become so marred with politics?
Neighbor, the personalities that were there in Crossroads speaks volume.
Yes.
To the sordid nature of a group of people who are trying to distract Jamaica as it relates to the sterling stewardship.
I put it to you, Mr. Dobney. Is it that the People's National Party quietly arranged this protest and called it neutral protest so that they could attract a crowd?
It obviously failed. It obviously failed, neighbor, because what the persons that were there are the dishonest sympathists of a party that has lost relevance in the economic management of this country. So you know it for what it is. We are a people who understands the journey of Jamaica to this day. And so the protest will not distract us, and I'm sure it will not distract Team JLP in its transformative mission. I say that, neighbor, as we stand on the cusp of Vision 2030, a very significant period in the history of Jamaica. We have set out some achievables up to 2030.
Yes.
That happens to be the point when we are going to head into another election.
Yes.
And it is going to be a direct referendum on the performance of the PNP and the Jamaica Labour Party in a comparative basis. The average Jamaican people have experienced the PNP in continuum, and it has experienced 10 years of the Jamaica Labour Party. And since 1960, within context, there has never been a government that has impacted Jamaica so much. Indeed, through crisis, many bouts of crisis. You look at COVID, you look at the hurricanes, you look at economic decline, you look at, in other words, we were not necessarily seen favorably in the international space. Now Jamaica has become a voice. Jamaica has become a model for the international community. Yes, the Caribbean, all of that, and we have experienced it, neighbor. And as such, we are heading into 2030 with a leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party that I dare declare is guaranteeing that we are going to achieve most of those things that we have set out to achieve. When you look at health, we are transforming the health sector, neighbor. When you look at agriculture, you just mentioned Vision 2030. Listen to Apostle Jeffrey Shuttleworth.
30 is not Vision 2030 is not Jamaica's idea. It is the beast idea, Vision 2030. So yes, they go around and they have been fashioning a number of plans and recasting the vision of Jamaica to fall in line with this so-called Vision 2030. Let me say it one more time. It is not Jamaica's idea. This is a part of the beast.
Vision 2030 is part of the beast.
Neighbor. Neighbor.
Oh, I tell you.
It's called the folly of expression, neighbor.
Yes.
The folly of expression. I grew up in Sunday school, neighbor.
Yes.
And I know that based on human existence, our primary objective is to make the place where we call home a better place.
Yes, sir.
It's called the spirit of transformation.
In other words, you can have a vision for your you can have a vision for your own life. Yes.
It is removing the way we do agriculture.
Yes.
The way we do healthcare. The way we do education.
You know, sir, the young people today create what they call vision boards. Where they put up a board in them house and they are able to aspire, sir. Vision is to aspire, no, sir? Yes? Oh, Mr. Shuttleworth, I tell you, you are a fascinating man. Mr. Dobney's signal is not good here.
Vision 2030 is not Jamaica's idea. It is the beast idea. Vision 20.
I tell you the truth. It's what a fascinating place to live. What a fascinating country this is, Jamaica. Good evening to you, Joshua. Hello.
Hey, sir. How are you?
Hi, Joshua. You are part of the church. Is this true?
There are some things which are supposed to take place during that period of time, which has to do with the beast system indeed. That's true.
Including the vision.
Including what?
Including Vision 2030.
Well, it's 2030 I'm talking about.
Okay.
There are certain projections.
Okay.
If you watch the World Economic Forum,
Yes.
but,
let's stay with the protest.
I think I reserve that for
on Sunday morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Tell me, Joshua, what are your views as to the politics in Jamaica today, the PNP's posture and all that is happening before you go to the protest? Encapsulate Jamaica's political environment for me, and for our listeners. What would you think? What would you say is happening?
First of all, let me say good evening to you and to your producer and moderators.
Yes.
The most beautiful producer on planet TikTok and
I see.
YouTube. That's Caroline. And to everyone else who is listening and will ever listen afterwards. I have one word to describe Jamaica's political environment.
Yes.
And it's a 5-letter word. Toxic.
Toxic. Yes, we are living in a toxic environment here.
Toxic political environment.
But then Joshua, that is very serious. If the environment is toxic, then I mean we are all at risk.
I believe that we could all be at risk. When we look at the posturing of the opposition leader and their followers, they have no intention of being concessionary at all. They have no intention of being participatory. They have no intention of looking towards nation building. What they're interested in is really power, and power at all cost. And it reminds me too much of the 1970s. The political environment of the 70s, but with a little uptick to it. And the reason it is far more dangerous than the 70s, even though the 70s in and of itself, had its own share, was that everything is played out in public now because of the advent of the information age. And so what happened, it is no longer localized to the planners and to the geographic region that the thing begins. But what you find out is that if something starts and nobody wants to take responsibility for their action, for starting it, what you find out, it lights like wildfire. Those wildfires in California, that is normally spoken of, on a yearly basis, almost. That's how quickly it could start, perhaps even more, because I'm sure if one political party here that I said from the other side is attacking their side, then before you know it, the entire island could be engulfed in political tribalism again. And not to mention in the diaspora, because persons may feel that, okay, people from this side need to, be taken out, and the other side may decide it's not going to go like that. And before you know it, we may end up at a place that nobody, including the perpetrators, had anticipated that it could end up. And as we progress, and as I tell you more about today, you will understand exactly why I say what I've said, in addition to what I've posited before.
Okay, let's hear your views on today.
All right, so mine is not just views. For the last 5 to 6 days, I've been eavesdropping on the PNP's meetings that they have been having.
When you say you hold on, the meetings online, in the social media space, or
online in the social media space. I've been eavesdropping on them, and I know that I'm being screen recorded, so I can back what I say with recorded proof, what I'm about to say.
Yes.
Because I made sure I recorded them, because they don't speak the truth and they will want to deny it. And I want them to know that I know, and that they were recorded, and that I've sent it out, and I'm going to send it out to even much more persons, and that includes you, neighbor.
What you saying to me?
Right? Yes. I have been eavesdropping on their meetings online, some of them before day, for the last 5 days, and I've recorded them planning these protests on 3 separate lives over the period of 4 days. Right? One of them went as far as to say that we must have sustained protests and cause chaos in Jamaica.
That was said on a PNP program.
Word for word, sir. Sustained protests and cause chaos.
That the PNP is saying that they are going to cause chaos in the country?
Well, that was what was put forward. Thankfully, on 2 of the lives, which I have on record. So it is not just something I'm telling you that I don't have recorded. And I will send it to you that on another program you can play to back my argument, to validate what I'm saying to you now.
But do you think these are reckless? Hold up. Do you think that these are just reckless supporters of the party, spewing nonsense, just chatting off their mouth?
Well, sir,
or do you think that this is
well, sir,
Sir,
the protest that was planned today, I will tell you verbatim one of the things that was said. That first of all, they were trying to decide whether or not they should have worn black. And then one person said no, because they were conscious of the fact that people may call it a PNP protest. And so they switched from black the following day, not the same day, the following day, which was last night, to yellow. And they said that the opposition leader said that if it is successful, they will have a press conference afterwards.
Hold on. Who said that?
One of the persons on the live informed them that the opposition leader said that if it is successful, they will have a press conference afterwards.
Well, success is relative. Do you think it was successful?
I didn't watch it.
Oh.
Right? In addition to that, they went further. On another live that I was eavesdropping on, and I recorded it also again, they stated that after the meeting is over, they will have PNP aligned bloggers to speak afterwards at the meeting.
That was said on one of the programs you were eavesdropping on?
Yes, sir. I will send you the tape. I have it recorded.
What you saying to me?
Yes, sir. I have it recorded. And I'm unabashedly bold about exposing it. I have already sent it to some key persons, and I will tell you exactly what I said. I warned one of the PNP bloggers because I caught him. Unfortunately, I tried to record it, and I thought I had it recorded. Somehow, when I double checked on that one, I can't find it, but it should be there. And I caught him speaking recklessly, and I said to him, hey, I expect better from you because you're one of the few PNP who usually comes out with a level of balance and speak the truth every now and then, even though all of you lie. And he said, what did I say? I said, I won't expose you publicly. All I will let you know is that I heard you, and I'm asking you to speak to your people, right? And he said, and afterwards I said to him, talk to X, and I called a particular name. Right? And I said that the protest that you guys are planning, I just hope, and I'm going to repeat verbatim what I said. I just hope that the police name on it.
But that's tough there, Joshua.
Sir, if you want to cause chaos in the nation and operate like a criminal, in fact, he asked me, in fairness to him, he said, why would you say such a thing? And I said to him, if you want to behave like a criminal, you should be treated like one. And I'm unapologetic about it.
30.
If you're going to behave like a criminal, right? If you're going to behave like a criminal and disrupt the nation because you're in search of power and you believe that power is that important, you should be treated like one. You don't care about the nation. You care that your party and your 63 bandits get in power, right? At the expense of 2.8 million other people. Then you're a criminal. And because of that, they have been parading on social media saying that I promised that I'm gonna. I never did. I've never threatened them. I told him exactly what I thought. And I was unambiguous about it. These people need to get their acts together, right? I am not one of those who's going to brush off the PNP and say, boy, the protest didn't mean anything. I tend to look at things more in perspective. You've heard me spoke about fascism and Mussolini and, Adolf H. and history. And I have a little saying, history informs the present and help you to prepare for the future, right? And we must learn from history. The same Adolf H. that I spoke about started with a very small group. And later he not only took over the country, but he caused World War II. So we must never take anything for granted.
Are you saying to me, Joshua, that what we are witnessing could be an orchestrated move that builds on this?
No, I am not saying that it could be. I am saying it is.
That it is?
Yes, sir.
That this was not just a little. That this was not just a little protest about the items that they said today. That this is something that that should concern the Minister of National Security, Police Commissioner.
Sir, I'm going to tell you exactly. When I send you the tape and you hear it for yourself, I'm going to tell you some of what is included on that tape. The gentleman, a specific gentleman that was pushing it. Thank God for the host of, one of the lives. She was saying, hey, this is not how it works. Gone are the days when, you can't just get up and have a protest. You have to seek permission from the authorities. And she was trying to be, in as much as she was uncomfortable, because after a while, I realized that I was there. And in as much as she was uncomfortable, she was kind of guiding them as to the pros and cons of having a protest, right? So she was more level-headed than the males, unfortunately, right? And unfortunately, because we need somebody. And the 3 days before that, it was another female and one male on the live. One male asked them, what do you hope to achieve? And they went as far as to say, because we want to force the Prime Minister to step down and plunge the country into anarchy so that JLP don't have a leader, right? And one gentleman on that live said, and what do you hope to achieve after that, right? And they said, they stated what they hope to achieve. And the gentleman walked them through and said, hey. And then another lady came on the live and said, hey, we must be careful how far we go with this thing. We can we can disturb the nation, in a way that we don't intend to. So we must be careful. That was the one before. That was the meeting before. This last one that I'm telling you about, another gentleman who got deported from the United States, who claimed that I live in a basement in the States, which I didn't know. But, thank God for basements, no? And he was pushing it and saying, we are going to cause sustained chaos with a series of protests across Jamaica. And he went as far as to say, cut down trees and burn and block road. That's how far he went. I have it on record. I have it on tape. And I'm going to send it to you. And I've sent it to the relevant persons already. And I hope that they forward it to the right person. These people need to be arrested and charged. We have remained silent for far too long, and this thing cannot continue. It's a threat to national security.
Well, this is serious. You are saying to me, sir, that you have the evidence to back what you are saying.
Sir, I have more than 6 recordings, evidential recording, more than 6, that I will, not perhaps, will forward to you. And just in case they hack my phone and it goes down, I've already sent it out so I know who to reach to get it from.
Aha. And you are saying that
these people are criminals. These people are criminals. I would call them criminal. And the opposition leader is a party to it.
No, sir. No, you can't. No,
I have it on record.
Hold on. That is very serious. How you mean a party? A party
sir,
to what?
Sir, the fact that he's going to say that if it is successful, he will have a press conference.
The opposition,
that he's fully aware of what is going on.
The opposition leader said that?
Sir, that is what was stated in that meeting. And I have it on record.
That Mark Golding is a party to this?
No, that he said, if it is successful, he will have a press conference afterwards.
Huh. I see.
Sir, you know, I told persons, I told persons from last year, the election was held October. And by November, they planned 2 protests already, One for January and one was scheduled for the 14th of July. I have the flyer with me in my possession. I can send it to you.
Well, the allegations are very sobering, Joshua.
Damning. And I'm saying for those of us, even though we say, no, I'm not gonna wear, let history be a marker for us. This has happened not only internationally before, it has happened in Jamaica before. When the opposition, the leader of government at the time, which was led by Michael Manley, locked up the opposition. And 4 years later, the country plunged at that time with the largest homicide rate that we had ever seen. We must take careful note. Do not take things for granted.
Yeah, well, those are part of the history of Jamaica, and it is something that I think we need to be very, very, very careful about. You are saying to me that,
of course,
that you listen to these lives, and this is what they're talking about. That's what you're saying to us,
sir. Of course, I have them on record. I am going to send it to you and as many persons as I can send it to. In fact, they were even there criticizing Nationwide, telling lies about Nationwide, telling lies on the Prime Minister that the Prime Minister has bailed out Nationwide. And if they were doing so well, then why would the Prime Minister have to bail it out? Tell lie that Prime Minister, Chief SSL money on the CM Live, told lie that the Minister of National Security is wanted and he cannot leave Jamaica. This, I captured it all on tape.
Well, let me tell you something, Joshua. There has to be at some point a pausing and a reflecting of what it is that we are witnessing here as a country. I think we need to have some serious discussions about how is it that we are going to disagree without causing chaos.
Sir, I don't think, and I'm going to be very forthright, or let me use an adjective to describe it, uncomfortably forthright about my pronouncement. I believe that the JLP is not the problem. It is the PNP in their desperation to gain power at all cost. And with their track record, their antecedent from the 70s coming in has always been the aggressor. 100%.
Yeah. And you know, Joshua, let me say this to you. And you have raised up a very interesting historical fact about how nations crumble, and they don't crumble overnight. There are some names that you call that we don't have to repeat. But the fact of the matter, sir, is that if we don't remain alert, then the enemy comes in. We have to remain alert.
Of course.
Huh?
Of course. When we take things for granted and brush it off, in war you never underestimate your opponent. When there's a simple nursery rhyme, a simple little story that we learned about the tortoise and the hare. You know what caused the hare to lose, even though he was destined to win? He underestimated he underestimated the resilience of the tortoise. So it's not those who are fastest that will always win. It's when you underestimate the resilience of your opponent. Your opponent may not necessarily be the best, but when you underestimate your opponent, you have already lost.
Yeah. Sobering, Joshua. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you too.
Not a problem.
You know, and this is not intended to scare anybody, but to bring perspective and to alert us to what is happening underneath the bushels and pay attention so we don't take anything for granted.
Indeed. Good night, Bowen. Brooks, hi. Brooks? No, he's not there. Who else do we have? Who else do we have? Bowen, Brooks? No, we don't have here. Bowen, let's jump up back to Scratchy. Scratchy?
Yes, Mr. Neighbor.
Boy, Scratchy. A toxic political environment. What we have to pause now, Scratchy. We have to pause and have some discussions about how we are going to rid ourselves of this stench.
Just freeing former slaves would have been the path of least or less resistance. But along with those colonies,
sorry. Hello? God. Hello? Are you there, Scratch?
Yes, neighbor, I hear, man. The person who company nice when I just pause, because sometimes it's really loud, you know?
Moderators,
yes,
please
neighbor,
mute the callers when they come up, please. Thanks.
Definitely,
yeah, go ahead.
Definitely toxic, neighbor. Not, this toxicity is not new either. I just think that, neighbor, what we are seeing, neighbor, it is just being pushed, neighbor, to a different level. 7 or 8 months after a general election that we have never seen before. Because as I often say, neighbor, that if I was someone who came from space, neighbor, and I visit Jamaica, I would think that next month a general election is around the corner next month.
Yes, we are in full election mode.
Full election mode, neighbor. I would think that the election is next month, neighbor, if I came from space and visit Jamaica and looking at what is going on from the political landscape. I would think that an election, I would never believe, neighbor, that an election passed 7 months ago or 8 months ago and is not constitutionally due until 2030. I would never believe that if I came from space, because the rhetoric that is coming from persons within our society, neighbor, it is campaignish, it is divisive, you know, it is not in our best interest. So I don't know how I can't tell you how we're going to fix it, neighbor, because I might tell us, yes, get rid of Mark Golding. Mark Golding is one of the causes. Mark Golding is playing a major role in the political landscape of Jamaica, how toxic our political landscape is right now. Peter Bunting is also a part of it, neighbor. But what we are seeing, neighbor, is things that we have to look like I said, this is going to be the new PNP going forward for a very long time, because based on what I am seeing, neighbor, even when or if Mark Golding and Peter Bunting, neighbor, through age or through the fact that, neighbor, Jamaicans don't want them, take themselves away, neighbor, from the political landscape, neighbor. These guys, neighbor, have a hole on the PNP that whosoever become the leader of the PNP, neighbor, going forward, will have to be working and pushing the agenda of Mark Jefferson Golding and Peter Bunting, neighbor. These guys, neighbor, are the new owners of the PNP, neighbor. These guys own the PNP right now, neighbor. Case in point, if you look at our good friend, Mr. Black beard him. Then bearded white like Santa Claus a couple months ago, then beard black. That guy, neighbor, you can literally see that Dayton Campbell is changing his image, neighbor. He might change his physical appearance. And he's also changing himself from a social landscape as well. He's going to get married.
Yes.
So you find him at work on his image. And I can guarantee and tell you this, neighbor, that Mark Jefferson Golding and Peter Bunting, neighbor, will definitely want to see Dayton Campbell become the leader of the People's National Party more than anybody else, neighbor.
Oh.
Because that is someone who they can control. That is someone who will push their agenda and who can run with their narrative, neighbor. So we're going to be in this for a very, very long time, neighbor. Even when Mark and Peter take away themselves, neighbor, they're going to be running the PNP from behind the scene. They're using their financial strength already as a chokehold for the PNP. Imagine your party, neighbor. A leader lose a local government election, last a general election, neighbor, not gaining any form of attraction. Every single piece of poll or every single thing that come out about this man showing that he's not favorable, he's unpopular, he's not getting any form of attraction. But when it comes to saying that remove him, we need a new leader, you have to pause and say, we can't remove him in as bad as things being, because if we remove him, we're not going to be able to attract any form of funding. We're not going to be able to still hold civil society and certain corporation in Jamaica to a certain level, same way our support is him and all of this. So it goes to show that the People's National Party, neighbor, has settled for mediocrity. The People's National Party, neighbor, has sold themselves to Mark Golding and Peter Bunting, or as I often brand them, neighbor, as my two favorite characters. You know, Sylvester and Garfield. You know, two foot puss who benefited of the backs of Jamaicans, who rise neighbor as a result of Jamaica downfall, and who push up themselves to be political leaders in our country. So if you manage to benefit of the backs of Jamaicans, while you never have any form of political power, but you have some form of political help, imagine what you are going to do now when you have that political power. So, Jamaicans, neighbor, just need to look into ourselves, neighbor. We need to see who really share our best interests. And we also need to stop the selfish. Because I think the problem with Jamaica, neighbor, is the selfishness, neighbor. We are not looking at the advancement of the country.
That's true.
Approach, neighbor. We are more defining the advancement of the country, neighbor, based on our own personal growth and what we're achieving personally.
Yes.
And we cannot do that. We are one person. You cannot use your own personal self and say, all right, once me a suffer, that means that Jamaica now go on good because me a suffer. And I can tell you this thing because I saw a comment earlier on in the comment section where a person said that they know a lot of Jamaicans in certain places, Jamaicans who are suffering. Never any Jamaicans who are currently suffering. Never. I'm not talking water in the mouth. Their suffering never did not start 2016. Never. And even if it started after 2016, their separation did not start as a result of the Jamaican Labour Party being in power. Their separation did not start because of Andrew Michael Owens being the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Their separation started, their separation is as a result of their own personal life.
Yes.
Personal choices that they make in their own personal life, Their separation is not on the backs of the government. It is on the backs of you. So, Garfield and Sylvester, neighbor, is going to be with us for a very long time, neighbor. They have literally bought the PNP, neighbor. I can't tell you how much them buy it for. I don't have that information. But I definitely know that, neighbor, that the PNP is bought, neighbor. When you look at the low level of member of parliament over there, neighbor, not to say, it wasn't done by mistake. It was purposely done, neighbor, so that these persons can look up to both Garfield and Sylvester. Cannot contest Garfield and Sylvester, neighbor, because they have no socio-economic background and they have no social life to a certain level in terms of who they are, in terms of society and popularity and stuff like that. Case in point again, if you look at Nikisha Burchell, neighbor, Nikisha Burchell rhetoric, Nikisha Burchell behavior, neighbor, is as a result of our alleged personal thing that she have, neighbor, with Garfield or Sylvester, with what
go around and they have been fashioning and sorry.
If you just look at how Miss Burchell alone react, neighbor, it shows you that, neighbor, Garfield and Sylvester is 1000% responsible, neighbor, for Nikisha Burchell reaction. Neighbor, Nikisha Burchell, I'm not put down the body, but we are taught the truth and facts. Nikisha Burchell is of no caliber. Nikisha Burchell is of no class, neighbor. If you try go on like you want to size up with the Prime Minister wife, member of Parliament, Juliet Oldest, neighbor. Nikisha Bertel neighbor is someone, I don't care what kind of degree she has, neighbor. Degree don't make you someone. Personality. And Nikisha Bertel doesn't have any personality. She don't have any respect, neighbor, for authority. She's just moving, neighbor, based on her figure or whatever she has bought and enhanced. That is what she's using, neighbor, to propel herself, neighbor, going forward in our political landscape. So Jamaica has a very long way to go, neighbor. We are not practicing politics in Jamaica from a political standpoint, neighbor. Our practice is being practiced from a personal standpoint. And that is where we are feeling. Too much personal feelings, man. Talk truth and fear and be factual.
You're quite correct, Scratchy. And Scratchy, the parliament is no different. Even today, the speaker had to be standing up because the PNP keep banging the decks and they wouldn't stop protests, saying that they need to be heard. What they don't want the standing orders to rule the parliament, Scratchy. It's getting very bad.
Right, it is definitely getting bad, neighbor. Our parliament, neighbor, has become one of those parliaments in one of those countries, neighbor, where that is being run by terrorists and stuff like that, neighbor, where law and order is not run. Jamaica parliament, neighbor, has always been reserved, neighbor, for respect. It is the highest court of our land. It is where no matter how you are someone outside might reign, neighbor, when you come to the parliament, it's different total ball game because these are things that have been put on record.
Yes.
The country is watching. The world is watching, neighbor. So when you say our politicians, neighbor, or the PNP, neighbor, behave like that in the parliament, neighbor, it just goes to show, neighbor, that there's so I am starting to think, though, neighbor, that based on how I'm seeing the how they're up in the ante more, neighbor, I am starting to believe, neighbor, that the People's National Party believe that they can overthrow the government. But I can't see how you didn't have the skill, nor the will, nor the power to overthrow a one-seat majority government in 2007 and other times, or 2-seat or 2016, but you think you have the will and the power now to overthrow a 7-seat majority government. The reason why they think that, neighbor, is because of persons who are in the private sectors, neighbor, who support these people, neighbor, make these people feel like, say, yes, they have some form of relevance. But I can tell you, neighbor, I'm not worried to a certain level still, because when I look at the 28 members of the PNP, neighbor, is 28 nincompoop, 28 persons, neighbor, who became politicians, neighbor, as a result, so that Garfield and Sylvester can have a hold and control over them, not based on any form of performance, not based on any form of contribution that these persons have contributed to their country. One member of parliament, neighbor, is a member of parliament right now because of his popularity and how we help a popular dancehall artist, neighbor, to become victorious in a very popular case. That's how he became a member of parliament. You know, you have an ex-member of parliament, neighbor. She's a member of parliament, neighbor, by enhancing her physical features. Enhance her lip, enhance her lip, enhance her cheek, enhance her, you know? Yes, neighbor, but not enhancing themselves from a personal standpoint in terms of where they want to take Jamaicans and their supporters. So
I see.
I'm not worried, neighbor. 28 nincompoop, neighbor, cannot overthrow us, neighbor.
Okay.
Stronger than them.
Fantastic. There is a caller on YouTube. By the way, listeners, we're asking you to tap the screen and share the live. We have another 21 minutes left. Fascinating stuff here on the Politics Plus Politics Plus network. The Hello Neighbor Show. Welcome. We go with you until 10 o'clock. We're on live. Mm-hmm.
Hi, sorry to interrupt, but please remember that we do have some guests over here as well, okay?
On the other page?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And yes, so we are live on on YouTube, Patreon, and X, and we're live on TikTok. Thank you so much for joining us. Tap and share and tell your friends that we're here. Let's go to YouTube. Good evening to you, sir. Hello? Ian? Hi? No. Ian? No. We don't have Ian. Ruler Brown? Hi? Ruler Brown? No, we don't have Ruler either. All right, let's go over to the Hello Neighbor page where we find who is over there, Caroline?
We got Astute at the moment.
Oh, Astute, how are you doing? We're going to have a little challenge hearing you though, because you're far away on that camera. Can you jump over to the other page, please? No, I'm just asking you to jump on the other page for me, please. Gonna have a problem hearing you. Okay. All right. So we're waiting on Astute to come. Moderators, just please add him to the Hello Neighbor Show, and that so we can hear him a little better. That device is far away. We need to get him up here on YouTube. Here is he.
Yes, neighbor.
There you are. There you are.
To you and everyone.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, neighbor. Are you hearing me clearly?
Very, very loud and clear.
Lovely, lovely. Evening to Scratchy, evening Joshua, evening to all listeners on all platforms. Greetings. Yes, neighbor. So I was here listening to everything. Joshua, John, with a damning, I would call a report.
Yes.
I guess these are our journalists. Breaking news. Seems like a legal matter.
Sobering commentary from Joshua.
Definitely, definitely.
But in the context of what we are experiencing, Astute, I think it's a conversation worth having. What do you think?
Most definitely. Absolutely, neighbor. He made a point, and let me say it a different way. He made a really good point. Something we should not just skip over or let it just go in one year and pass to the next. He made mention of the tortoise and the hare. And we can sometimes get comfortable on our laurels, on our buttocks, feeling that yes, the Prime Minister is doing a great job, so the people must do the right thing. But you have to understand the tool called propaganda and disinformation is a very powerful tool, especially in a country where the populace is illiterate, innumerate.
No, I wouldn't say that they are. I wouldn't say that they are illiterate.
I am telling you, neighbor. I am telling you.
By the ministry's own statistics, it's just about 15% of Jamaicans that are illiterate. It's a large number, 300,000.
No, neighbor, but you have to understand who vote. Neighbor, I'm in the streets, so I can tell you, I'm in the streets.
No. You see. I want to be careful with this illiterate thing, because I don't think that the ability to read necessarily make you illiterate.
Well, I am talking about illiterate as in your inability to read.
Oh.
So that's why I'm not finished. I am talking about people who cannot read, who don't know words, whose vocabulary is that of an ant or a fly. You have people who are innumerate. You have people who are civically inept. You have people who lack critical thinking skills. You have people who are educated but unintelligent. Neighbor, I am telling you.
But brother, that is not a very good report card of your brothers and sisters in Jamaica. That's not a very good.
Neighbor, it is the reality of the Jamaica we live in. The other day they did a study. Only 16% of the people in the workforce have a tertiary level education.
Well, that is true. That is true.
40% only have some, what them call it? Them just have them barely. Them have access to it. Them not have.
But that is not. That is hold on. But that is not the problem, sir. The problem is not whether you have a tertiary education or not. The problem
I
is.
think it is. And let me tell you why.
No. But hold on. No, because there are a lot of people that I know, and some of them you will be shocked, Astute, that have never set foot in the university one day, but they are brilliant at their craft.
Those are what you call the outliers. Neighbor, university allow you to think critically.
We really?
When I was
hold on. Really?
Neighbor, yes, I studied of these things, neighbor.
Yeah, but hold on.
It is
No, I don't know that. I don't know that, sir, because a lot of them that
neighbor.
comes from the university, I don't see them thinking critically.
But what I am telling that, so it doesn't mean that once you go there, you have to think critically.
But when then you are saying that the university will help. I don't know that.
You to.
It allows you to.
It does. Yeah, man. But let us not dwell on that. The point I want to make. Yeah, man. I don't want to debate on that.
No, okay.
The point I want to make.
I would love to debate you on it, though, sir.
No problem. Another day.
Another
day. We don't have the time.
What do you mean we don't have the time? We have the time. Go ahead.
And I cite my sources.
Yes.
No, man, serious. I cite my sources when I'm ready. But neighbor, the point I want to make is this. A lot of times, I go in the street and I proudly always state I am a product of the inner city.
Yes.
Born and raised. So a lot of time people hear me talk, they feel like, say, oh, uptown that they come from.
Oh.
Even just I use big words. Nothing like that. I applied myself. I made sure when my parents always tell me, say, the only way out of this hole where you're living in this slum is education.
Even that is not, even that needs to be challenged.
I'm just saying, that was the first thing my father told me.
Yes.
And I made sure when I went to school, I applied myself. And I came out, I did my degree, so on and so forth. I don't go around pretending to be better than no one because some of the smartest people I've interacted with, most well-thinking individuals, are not people with degrees.
Yes, that's my point.
I've interacted. Yeah, man. As I say one other time we debate about that. So the point is, a lot of the people who vote and who care about politics, who when I call a meeting, them they jump up, are the people that want to know A from Bullfoot. I am telling you, neighbor.
They don't know A from Bullfoot, sir?
Yes. They don't know A from Bullfoot. Those are the people who want to take place in politics. And all right, neighbor, let us use an anecdote. Why is it that in the 90s, P. Percival James Patterson won so many consecutive elections?
Well, did he really win them?
He did not.
Did he really win them though?
Well.
That is something that you need to look at, sir.
You're right about that. You're right about that. But the point is, even up to today's date, a lot of people will say Manley are one of the greatest prime ministers Jamaica has ever seen.
I see.
And PJ is one of the greatest.
Who?
And when I try to put power to truth, them tell us they are foolishness here, dog. I'm on Barnia, my leader Barnia. And then something of them are going to tell you about. Manley give free education. Manley never stooped to the US. Manley stood up to the US. They don't know.
No, I would say, as you, that the society is undereducated. I wouldn't call them illiterate.
I agree.
I would say that they are undereducated. And I will tell you this. You see the period of the 90s, sir? You see that 18 and a half years that should have been spent investing in the development of people. It was wasted. And that is part of what is hurting the society today. That here you have these people who are now adults and they are not properly educated. And so they are not making the best decisions. And those decisions sometimes affect the politics. But that is for much more discussion. And when you pair that with civic illiteracy, you realize that we really have a problem. Yes? Yes, sir? I don't know.
Let's go to Eon on YouTube.
I don't know why he
Maybe it seems we're breaking up.
I am breaking up. Broke up. Me I broke up.
That's how you sounded too.
Oh.
You're back now.
Hold on there for me. Ian on YouTube.
You're back now.
Hold on.
You're back now.
Back. Okay. Ian.
Good evening. Are you hearing me?
I am hearing you loud and clear, sir. How you doing? I hope my callers, my listeners on the TikTok is hearing you. They are hearing you. Hello, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Hi.
Must again commend you on the good work you're doing along with others like yourself. And the last time I spoke to you, I said to you that, I mean, we have to take this thing seriously because we're seeing more clearly now than ever that there is a conspiracy against the government of the day. And I would not be surprised if that the opposition play a central role in it, though they may stand off, because you know one of the effective way of doing your dirt, you know, is to you do the planning and get others to execute it, and then people will say that others, I mean, you are not involved in it. And earlier I was listening to you, and you was talking about these groups that we have in Jamaica. There is nothing civil about these groups. These groups they are surrogates. That they are not civil. They are surrogate groups. And why do I say this? If you go back to the 70s, you're familiar with the Pickers Guild Committee.
You bet I am.
Yes, sir. So trace, and I was saying this earlier on another platform. Trace a lot of these people background and see where their loyalty lies.
Why do you think, Ian, that it's almost that PNPism is kind of institutionalized in Jamaica? Why? Is it through that committee?
It plays a significant role, because what it would have done, it would have captured all of these different governmental organizations, civil servants, and they would have put their people in position. So what you'd have done over the years, you'd have created an environment where people are expecting certain things, and they know that, I mean, when the PNP are in power, we are going to eat the food, indiscipline is going to reign, and lawlessness and chaos will be the order of the day. And so as long as people, and you must understand the human nature, you know, what we consider to be freedom is enslavement. And why do and let me explain it this way. When you do what you are created to do, you are free.
Yes.
But when you do whatever you want to do, you are a slave. And a lot of people don't look at it like that. And
you know, it's fascinating, Ian, because I heard Nikisha Burchell just last week saying that she is loyal to the PNP because the PNP sent her to school. This is a young woman, but she feels a sense of commitment to give back to the PNP simply because the PNP was the one that sent her to the university. This is why I tell you, you know, you see this first in household degree that Mr. Crawford proposed, it's rubbish, you know. It is that's not how government policies are to be effected. That's wrong. That locks in the society to patronage, to clientistic type of thinking. What governments are to do, you see, is to create policies that create equity. So especially social policies. In other words, access. Give people access. Go ahead, Ian.
Create opportunities.
Yes.
Rather than equity, create opportunities that people you make use of the opportunity will bring out their talents and their gifts. Because look here, and you see what must realize, you know, in terms of the PNP is built on an ideology of socialism, which what socialism does, it allows the masses to depend on government or to look to government as their source. So when, for example, the education, when you it might sound a bit confusing, but look at it nowadays. It is really education or indoctrination.
What for what?
For what we are labeling as education in terms of what we do now, is it more indoctrination? Because what education is supposed to do, education is supposed to prepare you to make a contribution to your nation in its development. not just for you, but for those who come after you. But when it is indoctrination, it's as if it is not the party that I support in power, then nothing can go right, regardless of whatever the government, the present administration may be putting in power. Take NARA for example. What's the purpose of? Is it not to ensure that the country develops in a way that will benefit generations to come? Yet those who we consider, we say that they are educated, and they're the ones that are saying that it is not good for the country. How is that? How is that education on their part?
Well, it probably is so.
So when we look at what is happening in the nation right now, where if they are not the ones in control of the lever of power, then there's nothing must work. What kind of crap? What are we doing? And I blame us as a people, and as a nation, because when you put a person of questionable reputation to become a representative in a country, you realize that you are promoting lawlessness in the country, sir.
It's a little deeper than that, though, Ian, because the society itself is where we draw all our professionals from: our doctors, our policemen, our soldiers, our nurses, our teachers, and our politicians. And what we have to do is to fix the society generally, because we have to produce better citizens, because these are the citizens that are going to become our politicians. Now, look at what is happening with this generation now. You go to any primary school here in Jamaica, and you will understand what I'm talking about. It is from that batch that the politicians are coming from: the doctors, the nurses, the policemen. They are drawn from the society. You think you can take a man from the society, put him up at the police school for 6 months and change him? No, don't change him. And when you pull these people from the society and put them in parliament, you don't change them. Look at Miss Burchell's behavior in the parliament. So that is a reflection too of the society, not only of Miss Burchell, but generally of the indiscipline that pervades in the society. Don't you think?
Yes, sir. I do agree with you. And what we are also, and in doing that, we are also perpetuating that indiscipline in the society.
Do you know, Ian, that I've seen teachers online. I remember when I was going to, it was all age school at the time. The teachers were dressed a particular way. Dressed. You would never see a teacher in a tight jeans in my primary school. You wouldn't see that. Or a tightly fitted skirt, short. And sometimes I wonder how these young men manage with these teachers that are teaching them in these high schools, because they're not appropriately attired at all. And I've seen some teachers doing lives in the classroom, playing music, idling, playing music while the students are sitting down in the class. No, how comes? It's part of the indiscipline of the society. So this society they come from,
There was a former prime minister had started this values and attitude program in the country, but it is ironic that the same person who is standing up for values and attitude, or the same one who says that the law is not a shackle. And in whose administration, the man, one of his cabinet members said, the man that play by the rule is the man that gets shafted. So, what are you expecting?
Yeah.
And so from that comes now what we have in Parliament, says that they are representative of the people. And then the people accept it accept them as representative. When you have a person going into Parliament and have no regard for the rules that govern the Parliament, yes, that a person still remain a member of Parliament. This nation is heading down a slippery slope.
Yeah. Run out of time though, Ian. Thank you much.
Thank you very much, man. Continue doing what you're doing.
Okay, great. Lovely. Okay, Astute?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Gonna wrap with you. So you are saying that the society has to wake up and take note because of the nature of the people living in it. That's what you're saying.
Most definitely, neighbor.
And you call a large percentage of them illiterate. Eh?
No, man. Maybe I didn't hear what I said.
Please.
I'm saying a lot of. So I'm gonna repeat myself.
Yes.
I'm saying you're dealing with people who are illiterate, innumerate. You're dealing with some who are educated but not intelligent. You're dealing with people who lack critical thinking and reasoning ability. You have people who can read but don't have reading comprehension skills.
Yes.
So you are to understand that you're dealing with a wide array of people who have some deficiency intellectually.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is the government not aware of the demographics, the demographics, or the various levels of education, and why don't they build their PR to address that?
Let me tell you what I think is happening, and I find that sometimes it happens to me as well. Yes, sometimes what I think happens is the government represents a particular demographic of people. So sometimes when you're having a conversation and words that come naturally to you, somebody else might hear you say it and say, what a kind of big word that you used to me. The government has not been able to fully capture the spirit of speaking to the lowest set of Jamaica. When I say lowest, I'm not being condescending, but I'm talking about in terms of on the educational, intellectual level. Those when I really have a lot of qualifications or reasoning ability, they have not been able to capture the essence of those people. Let me give you a quick anecdote. Whenever Marlon Morgan is speaking, a lot of times he uses multi-syllable words, but a lot of people don't understand those words. So when Anisha Birch...
Oh, he's breaking up.
People, but when...
Where are you, sir? You're breaking up. You're making a good point. I want to hear you. You're breaking up, man.
About the People's National Party.
You repeat what you said there, sir.
I'm right. I don't know.
By the way,
Can you hear me now?
No,
Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, there is an accident on the Mandela. Just before you get to the stoplight. Member Harry told me about that. So if you're coming over from Kingston, you're going to be in for some delays. There's an accident on the Mandela Highway, and at the stoplight, it's gonna cause some delay. The road going into Spanish Town. So if you're coming over, then expect.
Are you hearing me, neighbor?
I'm hearing you.
All right, beautiful. I'm by the Wi-Fi, so I don't know if it's on my side or on your side, but the people in the comments say they're hearing me. But anyway, let me say what I'm saying. And if you're not hearing me, just let me know. I was saying the Jamaica Labour Party or the leadership of the Jamaica Labour Party has not been able to capture the essence of what we would call the common man. And as a result of that, oftentimes a lot of what is being said in the public sphere, they are not hearing. They hear, but they don't understand what takes place. But when a representative from the People's National Party would come out, that representative is able to speak at the people's level. And I believe that is one of the major challenges that separates the achievements of our government to capturing the very essence of the minds of what we would call the common man in our society. A lot of the Jamaica people and the Jamaica Labour Party to speak to that level. And once they're able to fix that and get that in tune, what I feel in a neighbor, I feel based on the forum, based on the space, then for talking about Patois. Because I feel like people will understand Patois more, while at the same time encouraging people to elevate themselves. Because if you notice, the language of our parliament is not patois. So even what happening in parliament, when them talk in a standard English, them still not understand exactly what's happening. The common man not have not a clue what happen. When I'm in the streets and I'm talking to the common man, because I love hang out on the streets, you know, and talk to the people that I grew up with. And when I ask them about if they understand what's happening in the political atmosphere and the political sphere, them don't know what like a strike. You know what they're going to tell me? Up to today, people are telling me, say, one person told me that she went to protest because 10,000 criminals she hears say come to Jamaica. And she don't want that to happen. And she tell me, say, she don't really lean to no particular party. But she don't want 10,000 criminal and pedophile coming to the country for mess with her child. And after I started to ask her, where you get that information from? She said, the Gleaner and TVJ. So I said to her, but do you know that they're not telling the truth? She said, how you mean them not telling the truth? Them have to tell the truth. Because they're the biggest newspaper and TV station that in our country. How you mean them not telling the truth? Them have to tell the truth.
Yeah. You see, what happens, sir, is that this is a low trust society. And people don't really trust government, you know. They rather trust the media. Because historically, media is supposed to defend the people. The fourth estate, they stand between power and the people. And I believe one of the sad truths is that this government has been a very open and honest government and a less corrupt government. But still, the low trust society remains. It's going to take some time. That's part of the problem.
I agree.
Hold on there for me.
A legacy of the PNP.
It's a legacy of the PNP, sir. Hold on for me, please. Amir's Party World. Good night. Hello. Oh.
Everything cool.
I am fine. How are you, sir?
Yeah, man, big up yourself and big up to your listeners today. A long time, we don't come crash by your life.
Still there in the fight. But I see you jump from one page. I see you jump from one page to the other. Why?
What you mean when you say one page?
You were over the Hello Neighbour Show. Now this is the Hello Neighbour podcast. Separate platform.
Oh, maybe I just accidentally come on this one, but
you okay?
Good to know. Say anyway, you find you.
Yeah.
All right. There is this thing. People. Me notice on social media, people been saying that most of the people there are PNP, and then another set, and then even the same set that say most of them can't read and most of them illiterate, and I think that is the conversation that they are having here. But what we
no, we're not having that conversation here at all.
Yeah, all right. So me see that on social media. But what we have to agree is that most of the people who vote are those type of people. And if you are going to have a protest, you are going to have those type of people out there because others are at work, and most time the people who really educated, as well as you said earlier, are people them don't care. Them don't even vote and they don't care what happen as long as because we have a system that in Jamaica where once you don't affect you personally, you think that you don't have to do anything about it. You understand?
Yeah, man, hearing you.
You're saying something?
No, man, you go ahead.
Man, so people believe that. So people believe that once you don't affect you personally, because we always speak of a scenario where something happen in a ghetto and because they are from a particular place, people believe that the whole of them are criminal or something like that. But when it affect them family now, them say no, everybody sit down and see what man, nobody no say nothing. So you have a thing at Jamaica where them might say, one of your business.
Well, he has been disconnected. I don't know what has happened there. Astute.
Yes, neighbor, I'm here. Are you hearing me clearly?
I'm hearing you clearly.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
You were saying something, neighbor?
I'm saying that it's a great pivot into another discussion in how we are going to get people to be more politically aware and how we are going to communicate to them, how we are going to get people to appreciate how they have moved. Take, for example, Astute. I made the point last night that the minimum wage is $17,000 because of the PNP. And
absolutely correct.
And many people criticize me, say, how could you say that? And I said to them, well, let me take it. As a matter of fact, a man called me today, A man called me today and said, Miss Neighbor, what are you talking about? I said, yes, sir. And I beg him, I said, listen to me. If the economy does not grow, then the minimum wage will not move. And if the economy was growing in the 90s, the minimum wage would have been growing proportionate to that. Am I not correct, sir?
But neighbor, that I would think that is common sense because it was observable.
No, it was not. It wasn't common sense to just Julika Jess in the parliament. Julika Jess, who spoke on behalf of the PNP. No favor says she realized that if the economy grew in the 90s, then the minimum wage would not be $17,000 today. It probably would be $25,000. Is that correct?
Yes, all right, neighbor.
So who do you blame then? Who should the people blame for where the minimum wage is? No, most the PNP.
Neighbor, let me show you why I know say that is true. Remember, in the public sector, wages froze. Why did wage freeze? Why did wage freeze?
Dead so.
Because the money never did.
No money was there to pay. Absolutely. And therefore, if the economy was experiencing 3 and 4% growth in the 90s, minimum wage would be far past $30,000 now. People understand that, no?
Most definitely.
Most definitely. Because the minimum wage is pegged to economic growth. Because you can't move minimum wage in a country that pauperized. Can't do it.
Neighbor, there's also another conversation that said $6,200 adjusted to inflation is more than $17,000 today. People who are nothing about economics are saying something there. When I did my calculation, I worked out to be $10,416 in today's dollars. So the $17,000 is still way ahead of what $16,000 was. And even when you look at it, the cost of one party today versus the cost of one party when the minimum wage was $6,200, we get more parties today.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these people are talking about.
That is what is called critical thinking. Let me it's 14 after 10. Let me just wrap this up now. Hey, Scratch.
Yes, neighbor.
So Scratch, we had a great show today with this protest, and you made a point here the other night that if we don't cover the breaking news story, we are going to be left out into the water.
Exactly.
I mean, we had a great program here tonight. But at the end of the day, Scratchy, the point that is being made about literacy and civic literacy, you have made the point that when the PAD program money increase, everybody know.
Definitely, neighbor. As I say, neighbor, I am never one neighbor who will come talk about how the government communicate, neighbor. Communication is one, neighbor, but communication is not hard. You see, the communication is a two-way thing. You communicate, and it's now up to the persons who you communicate to, how they receive your communication. And there's a reality in Jamaica, neighbor, that a majority of Jamaicans don't have any appetite for the government, whatever come from government.
Yes.
People don't want to hear about it if it don't.
And it's a very low trust society, Scratchy. People don't trust government,
Yeah, Yeah, but people don't trust the government, neighbor. It's a low trust society. Persons I've seen so many government persons.
But it's so unfair to this government, those scratches. It's so unfair to this government that have really been trying to gain the people's trust. Very unfair to them, eh?
Very unfair to them, neighbor. I'm trying, neighbor, but based on past results, neighbor, or past government operate, neighbor, this current government is reeling from the effect of that, neighbor.
Yes.
And it is mostly by the PNP, you know, the bad governance. Or they are the one, neighbor, who cause the majority of this big mistrust. And it just happens that this government is suffering from it now. People get a government neighbor who's more transparent, a government neighbor who comes to them and talk to them. But despite all of that, they don't appreciate that, you know. I mean, I think Jamaica suffer neither neighbor from. I don't think neighbor it's a matter of illiteracy or literacy issue. Yeah, I don't think it's a literacy or illiteracy issue, neighbor. I think it is way deeper than that. Jamaica problem, neighbor, is man-made. Jamaica problem was created and crafted by the PNP, neighbor. It has nothing to do with who have a degree or who don't have a degree, you know, because if you look at the whole thing, neighbor, Jamaica setback of what Jamaica is going through right now, neighbor, it's not as a result, neighbor, of one unproductive system, neighbor, unproductive citizen, analyzing the next unproductive citizen. Jamaica setback, neighbor, as a result, mainly, neighbor, financial sector collapse, neighbor, where we lost 48% of our economy. And it's bright people do that. So-called bright people, neighbor, who have much in degree did that, neighbor. So, I always tell neighbor that Jamaica don't fall, neighbor, as a result, neighbor, the bright degree people, neighbor. They are the ones who destroy our country. I don't have nothing against anyone with a degree, neighbor. I respect anyone who further education and seek a higher level of education, neighbor.
Yeah.
But we can't just come and think, so we can't just say people are being away because they're not bright, or people are being away because they don't have a degree. Degree people damage this country, neighbor. People with degree cause our country to collapse by 48%. Not the normal common man or unproductive citizen who will analyze the next unproductive citizen. Degree people mash up this neighbor, man.
Okay.
Bright people mash up Jamaica, neighbor. If you look at the protest to the neighbor,
yes,
it's not dark when I can see this protest, neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Chaos burn, I can see the protest. And the degree chaos burn now.
Yes.
Bright people, neighbor, they have the problem now, country, man.
Respect.
But it's easy to blame the duns, so they blame the duns.
Respect to you. You hear, sir? Catch you tomorrow. Okay. All right. YouTube. That's going to be it for us tonight. We have come to the end of tonight's episode. We'll be here again tomorrow at 7 o'clock to do this all over again for you. If you're on X, Patreon, wherever you are tuning in from, thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please remember that your support is welcomed. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to the backup channel, Politics Plus Jamaica. Politics Plus Jamaica. Those of you here on TikTok, please, I beg you, go subscribe to that channel, the Politics Plus Jamaica channel, and continue to support us. If you are on YouTube and you want to sponsor the program or send a contribution, the information is going across your screen. If you are on X, the information is going across your screen. Thank you so much. We have a Zelle account. We also have Cash App. And if you are interested in supporting the local, we do have a local account also. You can WhatsApp 876-858-9553. The number is on your screen, 876-858-9553. Want to thank you all for your contributions. Thank you for your support. And thank you for all you do for Politics Plus, the Hello Neighbor Show. Until we catch you tomorrow on YouTube, have a fantastic rest of the night. Well,